Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages from all across the world. My name is Chandler, and welcome to 2023. I know this is one of the first times you guys have heard from me on a live stream in a while. If you're watching me here on YouTube, shout out to all the folks who are tuning in with us live right now on YouTube. I know we've got a big event coming up soon. We're going to talk about that in a second, but first things first, I got to welcome you all to the new year. Say happy, Merry Christmas, I think Thanksgiving, I don't know. It's been a while since I streamed here on YouTube. I'm really happy to be back. We have the State of the Union going on tonight, but for those of you who are still, who are just now tuning in with us, I'm really happy to see all of y'all. I'm getting some more information about what's going on in the background. As you guys can see, we are in a brand new place. If you haven't seen my video about it, we have moved. So we're in an all new location with an all new set. And that means sometimes all new problems. But right now it's looking pretty good, other than my local stream apparently may be down. So we'll see about that if we get any news on that. Of course, as you guys know, we stream every week here on locals and Rumble and YouTube, among other places. And today we have the State of the Union. I have it pulled up here on my screen, and it looks like we're gonna have some stuff pop in a second. That just decided to vanish, but it looks like we have some people coming in. Let me throw that back up. I don't know why that just decided to come on down. We'll unmute it for a second, as I think we've got some important people walking on in. Let's see what this is. Faces, people. All right. So as you guys know, this is the second State of the Union of President-in-Chief. It was Commander-in-Chief. I was going for Resident-in-Chief, though, but you know how it is. Joe Biden, it's going to be a great time, allegedly. And before we get into it, actually, I have something to tell you guys real quick. We have a special little event going on tonight. You might have seen this floating around on Twitter. I just realized I don't have anything to mark it down with. I completely forgot that. But we have a bingo card sheet here, and we're going to use it. And we're going to just strike things down as they go. I'll read through it real quick. I'll give you guys another quick look at it if you want to take a look. Talks about abortion, January 6th, teacher in the gallery, which I think we already saw a few coming over. Do I have anything to mark it down with? This is the problem with moving to an all-new location. You can't always have everything prepared, but shout out to the folks who are tuning in with us live. We have just a few more minutes until the State of the Union is scheduled to start. I'm keeping an eye on it on my other screen here, but nice to see you guys. Aaron says, Brick Suit bingo card. Yes, that's right. I think it was Brick Suit that posted this. We're going to be notching it down on there, so this will be good. Let's see if I can get somebody to bring me a marker or something. We have our spectators can do. If our spectators have a pen or a marker somewhere, somebody said just stick your finger through the paper when you get one. I'm gonna mess it up though. I'm gonna mess it up and like tear it in half. I bet I'm gonna do it. What's going on, Steve Rogers? Ooh, that's a classic right there. Nice to see you again, Steve Rogers. We have the State of the Union going on tonight. Ooh, we got more people coming out. Let's try to keep this marked up. Yes, I do.
Mr. Speaker, the Chief Justice and Associate Justices of the Supreme Court.
Very cool. We got Associate Justices incoming. Oh, who wants to see some people we haven't seen in a little while? All right, there we go. Yep. I think I see Gorsuch. Yep. Yep. Kavanaugh. ACB. Yes. Oh, this is getting good already. And then, of course, Ketanji Brown. Fun times. And some more of them there as well. Okay, great. This is a little awkward because this is the first time that the Supreme Court has been gathered in for a... what's going on? Okay, gathered for a State of the Union since the strike down of Roe v. Wade. So this is relatively interesting. Here we go. All right, cool. All right, we now have a pen to mark down our sheet with, so we're gonna keep this in line here. I'm gonna like hold it up off the side just to make sure I remember it, because there's a lot of things on here. I'm gonna take another second here. And sorry if I seem a little scatterbrained. We have a lot going on here, but I'm really happy to be back. Alaskan Dream, signed Deb. Oh, you know what? You're right. I did not spot Clarence Thomas. Huh. Good catch. Good catch. Signed Deb. He says, or he or she, I don't know who you are, says, Clarence Thomas, question mark. I haven't actually spotted him. I'm not the best at marking down, matching names to faces when it comes to Supreme Court justices. Although I think that's Mark Milley right there shaking the hands of some of them, which is telling. Keep in my chat. Yeah, she. Okay, there you go. Thank you. I don't like to say, oh, I don't want to assume your gender or anything, but sometimes you don't want to call a he a she, you know, if they're actually a he or a she. Oh, is that Doug Emhoff? Ooh, who's that? And then, oh, here comes Jill. Oh boy. So that was the second gentleman we just saw. This lady's already asleep. Look at her. Oh, she just woke up. Oh, the people are clapping. Why does she look like the purple crayon at the Crayola box? Uh-oh. We already in trouble. It's happening, folks. It's happening. Oh, man. She didn't just kiss that man on the lips, did she? I don't think so. It looked weird. These DC types, man. Let me tell you. There you go. Alright. See, I'm trying to... There you go. There we go. Alright, last but not least. Should be the president up next. Brian says, nah, she did. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, Bradley Smith says, Trump's fault and white supremacists should be on the bingo square. I think it's about to come out.
Mr. Speaker, the president's cabinet.
President's cabinet. Okay, cool. We have another few minutes here. I'll keep an eye on it. We don't really care much about the cabinet. What's going on? Queensbury, all the people here. We're going to keep an eye on talks about abortion, teacher in the gallery, vilifies Putin. I really think we're going to knock this one here off really fast. Not a joke. Not a joke. Oh, and the favorite thing I haven't busted out in here in a while is our soundboard.
Go, you know the thing.
Yep.
I bet y'all missed that. I bet y'all missed the soundboard. Says don't jump to the balcony. He's done that a few times. Mumble some words. Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm definitely gonna miss some by the end too. Definitely gonna miss some. Oh, you know what? Brian makes a good point. He said you should see if you can spot the designated survivor. I bet that might be what Clarence Thomas is this time, because I'm pretty sure the Supreme Court has a designated justice that doesn't come. Is that right? It doesn't arrive at the thing. I think that's it. Steve Rogers says please hit that like button. Definitely do that. We got Pete Booty. Booty Jug. Booty Jedge. I don't. Forget it. Booty Butt. Showing up. Who else do we have? I'm not as good with remembering his cabinet as Trump's cabinet because they were always in the news for something. But yeah. Oh, there's Mayorkas. I know him because I've taken quite a few flights in this pandemic day or the pandemic days, quote unquote, and couldn't get him away. Coleman says, make no mistake. Is that on the list? If you guys have that here, real quick, I'm gonna find the bingo list and then I'm gonna post it in the chat. If you guys spot something that I didn't get, let me know, and I will mark it down. I'm gonna go to Bricksuit's Twitter, I think it's his, and I will send it, and then I'll post it. There you go. So I'm gonna post a link to it in the chat. If you guys see him, commit a sin that I didn't mark, there you go. So follow that tweet right there. I'll show it on screen real quick for a second as well. It's just this right here. So here's the bingo card. So take your screenshot now. Just take a, or if you're watching on your TV, take a picture. I'll give you a few seconds to do it, and then if he gets one, you let me know, because we're gonna keep a very close eye on this. This is gonna be really funny. I'm sure of it. Let's move that back over here to make sure we don't miss anything. Okay, perfect. How are my people doing over on Rumble as well? We got Galaxy Red and Patriot Spreads over there. Let me get the Rumble chat. I gotta remember where all my buttons are, man. So we got Galaxy Red, Patriot Spreads, the whole gang in here. Okay, good. I think it's almost time. Oh no, go back to live, please. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, great. I feel like such an amateur streamer right now because it's so everything is very different. Yeah, Booty Butt is having a real long conversation with. Is that Mitt Romney? I think so. Mitt Romney and a few others. Yeah, they're just getting all acquainted. Kevin McCarthy looks very strange, in my opinion. He's just a strange-looking fellow. I mean, nothing against that, but I'm just looking at him in comparison to the rest of the room. He seems like he knows something that we don't know. I mean, obviously he does, but it feels like there's a lot that he knows that we don't know. There's something strange going on. Something strange afoot. Let me see here. I just have it on but low, just so we can hear them mingle beneath our noses. Do you have Trump's raid? Let me do the little pin thing real quick here. I don't know if my mic's even picking that up. I have it set to like block a lot of things. I don't think we have Trump raid, but we do have threat to our democracy, which I'd say, in Biden's opinion, would fall under that category. So this should be interesting. mentions dead son, soul of our nation, mentions somebody's sexuality, something like that. Points out that Hakeem Jeffries is black. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Hakeem Jeffries is the House Minority Leader, if I'm remembering correctly, something like that. So, you know, there's that. I'm Jill's husband. Oh, I think that one's gonna come. This is exciting. I think that one's gonna happen. I think that one's gonna. I gotta have it ready to really mark it off. This is gonna be good. I gotta clear up a little bit of space over here so I can have it just rest on my desk. This will be great. This will be great. Okay. We're just letting the cabinet mingle around, and then I think after President's cabinet, it should be... What the heck did I just see? One of them had a major bald spot. Oof. Yikes. Alright, Joe's cabinet. Not looking too hot. Coleman says insurrectionist. That woman in yellow saw the fisherman in the yellow rain jacket and said, yes, that is my dress. Aaron's already out here roasting people. Come on, man. Give him a break. Give him a break. Come on, Aaron. Andre Corbell, nice to see you again, says Jill Biden looks like Alice Cooper with makeup and a blonde wig. What is Alice Cooper? Is that Alice in Wonderland? Is that what that's from? Ugh. Nancy Pelosi still in Congress? I forgot. I really thought she was gone. I was like, oh man, I don't have to see her anymore. But nope, she's still there. And I know that's not Paul, but would you be mad at me if I said that was Paul Pelosi? I mean, I didn't know what he looked like until he got pulled over for the 9th time for drunk driving. I'm being honest, so I mean, you know, it is what it is. Jeez. Oh yes, I completely almost forgot, guys. But in the middle of the State of the Union, President Trump will be posting on Truth Social during it. Is everybody getting ready for commentary on the State of the Union speech and a possible review? I never liked harsh critics because usually they are unable to do anything themselves. Perhaps this is a different situation, but let's hope all goes well tonight. That's cool and all, but why can't you just post this to Twitter, man? I mean, Twitter is doing pretty alright right now. Everybody's there. Come on, dude. Come on. Is that just me, or... Because Truth Social, it's great. I love Truth Social. Follow me on Truth Social if you haven't. But, like, I post them to both. Post them to both. I do that all the time. Post them to both. And then also, real quick, I know you probably can't see it that well, but we are rocking the suit and tie, or at least the tie. Okay, I think, is this it? I think this is more people. Let's see what this one is.
Mr. Speaker,
oh, there's Joe.
President of the United States.
He looks so confused. Where's the proud to be an American? Oh, I guess this president isn't. I guess not. I guarantee you he knows none of these names. Not even of people he's met with in the past day. Not even. Is that Chuck? I think that's Chuck Schumer right there. Yep, it is. Look at him walk. Where's my pen? There it is. Okay, let me keep close track of this. This is gonna be becoming very useful very soon. I'm sure of it. And guys, keep me posted on the audio mix. I'm still getting used to this new set. Some things are louder than they were before, so if you notice you can't hear me that well, let me know. I can adjust it all. Ultra Salty Doomer says boo with the thumbs down. Boo. It's the closest thing I got to a boo right there. Or how about this?
Nope.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that'll have to do. Okay, good. Steve says he's looking for corn pop.
I'm just being honest.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
What are we talking about?
Alright, come on now. Come on. Let's get the speech going. I'm ready to start marking some things off. I want to win Biden bingo. This is gonna be good. I want to win Biden bingo. I've never been so excited. I don't think I've ever been this excited to play bingo. Not since elementary school, I'd say that much. Back in elementary school, you could win prizes. Now I'm just watching the country fall apart. But hey, it's fine. Let's read the Rumble chat real quick, see what's going on. Andre says, Alice Cooper is the original shock rocker. He sang School's Out for Summer. Ravenous says, you're looking sharp. Thank you, Ravenous. Andre says, pull up a pic of Alice Cooper and you will laugh my butt off. Let's do that briefly. I just have to know. Alice... No, come on, man. That's rude, bro. That's rude. That's true, though. I did laugh a little bit. I got a good laugh out of that. Alaskan Dream says, I seem to have soiled my pants. Yuck. Yuck. Oh, look at the Ukraine ribbon. Oh, man. What happened to the American lapel pin? Whatever happened to that? That's crazy. Which union is this the state of, by the way? I forget. Because I thought it was, you know, the American Republic? That union? I guess it's Ukraine. I don't know. I remember the last State of the Union was was it the State of the Union or the last? Because I think the last one was in 2022, but I think it was before the Ukraine stuff. But I remember there was a ton of stuff about Ukraine in the last time that Biden spoke. Something like that. I mean, hey. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, so I wasn't the only one that saw this. We're gonna briefly go back real quick. Benny Johnson also said, "Did Joe Biden just kiss Kamala's husband on the lips?" I was so confused. I was like, what? Like, was that the? I guess it wasn't really. Excuse me. Let's take a closer look here. Yeah, that's some. Just no. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. We're done. We're done. All right. All right. We're gonna focus on playing bingo, the speech. It'll be great. Diamond R says, here from notifications. That's rare. Probably because I haven't streamed in a while. YouTube is like, wait, no, Chandler, please come back, so that we can then shadow ban you again.
Yep.
You already know what it is. All right, Kevin McCarthy. He better have that speech ready to just... He better do it. He's no good. Joe just said, all right. All right. He's so used to sitting in that chair during these things. So used to sitting here. He's probably going to make a joke about that. That'd be pretty funny. What did he say? He's like cracking jokes to McCarthy. Hello, hello, hello. Does that already mark something off? Hold on. Yells for no reason.
Thank you.
Let's see here. Oh, takes credit for lower gas prices. I'm waiting on that one.
I have the high privilege and distinct honor to present to you the President of the United States.
Interesting. Millie. Oh, gosh. What type of general is named Millie anyways? Oh, yells for no reason? Is that yells for no... We'll give him a pass here.
Thank you.
I do plan to win Biden bingo tonight, boys. Oh, this pin barely works. Crap.
Mr. Speaker, Madam Vice President,
Darn.
our First Lady and Second Gentleman, good to see you guys up there.
Second gentleman.
Members of Congress.
There you go. I got it to work now. Okay, cool. They're standing and clapping for that already? All right. Even Nancy's not like, okay, come on, let's get started. Bradley says Millie Vanilli, right?
By the way,
Right?
Chief Justice, I may need a court order. She gets to go to the game tomorrow, next week. I have to stay home.
He's already
Gotta
losing
work
it.
something out here. Members of the Cabinet, leaders of our military, Chief Justice, Associate Justice, and retired Justice of the Supreme Court, and to you, my fellow Americans. You know, I start tonight by congratulating the 118th Congress and the new Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy.
I think Joe's just happy that a man's in the seat again. Be pretty based, honestly. There's some good applause on both sides. All right, good start.
Speaker, I don't want
I
to
know,
ruin your
Mick.
reputation, but I look forward to working with you.
Okay.
I want to congratulate the new leader of the House Democrats, the first African-American minority leader
There we go.
in history, Hakeem Jeffries.
Yep, there we go. Points out that Hakeem Jeffries is black. Boom, one off already. Didn't take long, folks. Didn't take long. We're getting started. You can barely see it because the pen is not great, but I'll just start fully drawing it out. There you go. So a bit more visible now. There you go. That one right there. Good start. Good start, folks.
He won in spite of the fact I campaigned for him. Congratulations to the longest-serving leader in the history of the United States Senate,
All right.
Mitch McConnell. Where are you, Mitch?
Okay. Good for him. Good for him. Oh, my gosh. It's a good start. It's a good start. The first African-American.
Congratulations to Chuck Schumer, another, another term as Senate Minority Leader.
No.
I think you. This time
Look
you
at
have
Kamala.
a slightly
She's
bigger
like
majority, Mr. Leader. You're the majority leader. About that much bigger? Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I want to give special recognition to someone who I think is going to be considered the greatest speaker in the history of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi.
Jeez, he was struggling on that Senate Majority Leader thing. Steve says the meds aren't working.
Yep.
I'm just being honest.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. The meds ain't working.
Folks, the story of America is a story of progress and resilience, of always moving forward, of never, ever giving up. It's a story unique among all nations. We're the only country that has emerged from every crisis we've ever entered stronger than we got into it. Look, folks, that's what we're doing again. 2 years ago, the economy was reeling. I stand here
gas
tonight
prices?
after we've created, with the help of many people in this room, 12 million new jobs. More jobs created in 2 years than any president's created in 4 years because of you all.
Funny thing is that those jobs were created in 4 years, and then he inherited it, and then claims in 2 years we did it. That's a joke. It's a great joke.
And 2 years ago, COVID had shut down. Our businesses were
Something
closed.
about COVID, hold
our
on.
schools were robbed of so much. And today, COVID no longer controls our lives. And 2 years ago, democracy faced its greatest threat since the Civil War. And today, though bruised, our democracy remains unbowed and unbroken.
Is he talking about J6? He didn't say the words J6. He didn't say them, so I don't think we can mention that. I don't think we can do it, but interesting.
As we gather here tonight,
Yeah.
we're writing the next chapter in the great American story, a story of progress and resilience. When world leaders ask me to define America, and they do, believe it or not, I say I can define it in one word, and I mean this. Possibilities.
Wait, hold
We
on.
don't think anything is beyond our capacity.
America is a
Everything
nation that can
possibility.
be defined in a single word.
That
I was going to put him.
work together.
I had to do it.
But
I had to do
over
it.
the past 2 years, we've proved the cynics and naysayers wrong.
The cynics,
Yes,
okay.
we disagreed plenty. And yes, there were times when Democrats went alone. But time and again, Democrats and Republicans came together to defend a stronger and safer Europe. You came together to pass once in a generation infrastructure
One in a
law,
generation.
building bridges connecting our nation and our people.
Drag Queen
We came
Story Hour
together to
is
pass the most
infrastructure. Don't
significant
forget
law
it.
Ever, helping victims exposed to toxic burn pits.
Oh my
And in
gosh.
fact, it was important.
Crazy.
And in fact, I signed over 300 bipartisan pieces of legislation since becoming president. From
Bipartisan?
authorizing the Violence Against Women Act, the Electoral Count Reform Act, the Respect for Marriage Act that protects the right to marry the person you love.
There we go. Mention
To my
sexuality.
Republican friends,
There we go.
If we could work together the last Congress, there's no reason we can't work together and find consensus on important things in this Congress as well.
It's already going down.
I think
Oh, Jill Biden in a horrible dress? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I didn't even see that one. Is her dress horrendous? One for horrid, two for not. One or two. I gotta know.
Fighting. Power for the sake of power. Conflict for the sake of conflict gets us nowhere. That's always been my vision of our country, and I know it's many of yours. To restore the soul of this nation, to rebuild the backbone of America.
Soul of our nation. There we go. Got
America's middle
another.
class, and to unite the country. We've been sent here to finish the job, in my view. For decades, the middle class has been hollowed out in more than, and not no one administration, but for a long time. Too many good-paying manufacturing jobs move overseas. Factories closed down. Once thriving cities and towns that many of you represent became shadows of what they used to be.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Along the way, something else we lost. Pride, our sense of self-worth. I ran for president to fundamentally change things.
Fundamentally change. That's an Obama line right there.
For everyone. So we can all feel that pride in what we do. To build an economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down. Because when the middle class does well, the poor have a ladder up, and the wealthy still do very well. We all do well.
That sounds a whole lot like trickle-down economics right there, but upside down and wrong. Oh, Bernie, what the heck? Oh, my gosh.
I know a lot of you always kid me for always quoting my dad, but my dad used to say, Joey, a job's about a lot more than a paycheck.
My father used to say
this. It's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity.
You're right, it is a joke.
It's about respect.
He's right.
It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay.
Are you going to mention your dead kid?
Well, folks.
Not to be disrespectful, but is that what's about to happen?
We're not finished yet by any stretch of the imagination, but unemployment rate is at 3.4%, a 50-year low. A near record.
It's so funny, man.
A near record unemployment.
Underneath meaning a shredder melt.
Near record unemployment for black and Hispanic workers.
He's stealing
through help,
Trump's
800,000 good-paying manufacturing jobs, the fastest growth in 40 years.
This is what Trump was saying 3 years ago.
And where is it written? Where is it written that America can't lead the world in manufacturing? And I don't know where that's written. For too many decades, we imported projects and exported jobs. Now, thanks to what you've all done, we're exporting American products and creating American jobs. Folks,
Trump has made a few funny posts.
Inflation has been a global problem because the pandemic disrupted our supply chains, and Putin's unfair and brutal war
vilifies
in Ukraine
disrupted
energy supplies as well as food supplies, blocking all that grain in Ukraine.
Hold on.
Stop the cap.
We're better positioned than any country on earth right now, but we have more to do. But here at home, inflation is coming down. Here at home, gas prices are down $1.50 from their peak.
Oh, takes credit for gas prices.
Inflation is coming down, not fast enough, but coming down. Inflation has fallen every month for the last 6 months. While take-home pay has
getting
gone
mighty
up.
close to a bingo.
Additionally,
and it's about to be a T-shaped bingo too.
A record 10 million Americans applied to start new businesses. 10 million.
Oh man. Yeah, gas prices. I caught it. I caught it.
Every time someone starts a small business is an act of hope.
An act of hope.
Madam Vice President, I want to thank you for leading that effort to ensure the small businesses
She ain't starting with small businesses.
And the historic laws we enacted that are going to just come
Unless
into
you're talking
being.
about the brothel. No, she definitely would have started that.
I shared with you a story of American genius and possibilities. Semiconductors, small computer chips the size of a fingerprint that power everything.
What's this guy got to do with that?
Automobiles and so much more. These chips were invented in America. Let's get that straight. They were invented in America.
That's good. I like that.
We used to make 40% of the world's chips. In the last several decades, we lost our edge. We're down to only producing 10%. We all saw what happened during the pandemic when chip factories shut down overseas.
Jeez, can we get a pandemic counter?
Need 3,000 chips each of those automobiles. But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up, people got laid off. So did everything from refrigerators to cell phones. We can never let that happen again. That's why we came together to pass the Bipartisan Chips and Science Act.
Nothing about the Green New Deal yet. Oh wait, didn't he say threat to our democracy earlier? We'll see if he says it again. I don't know if he did for sure or not. Potato crops down.
Folks,
it's everything, folks, everything.
I know I've been criticized for saying this, but I'm not changing my view. We're going to make sure the supply chain for America begins in America. The supply chain.
And these are nice things to say. They're great things to say when you're not doing much. You're just like inheriting a previous administration, carrying it forward. But you know, it's great.
We've already created
Sometimes that can be a good thing.
800,000 new manufacturing jobs without this law, before the law kicks in.
Huh?
With this new law, we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs across the country. And I mean all across the country, throughout not just the coast, but through the middle of the country as well. That's going to come from companies that have announced more than $300 billion in investment in American manufacturing over the next few years. Outside of Columbus, Ohio, Intel is building semiconductor factories on 1,000 acres, literally a field of dreams. It's going to create 10,000 jobs, that one investment, 7,000 construction jobs, 3,000 jobs in those factories once they're finished. They call them factories.
They call them factories. What does that mean?
A year.
They call them
many
factories.
Do not require a college degree.
Well, I gotta tweet that. 3,000 jobs.
Because we work together, these jobs where people don't have to leave home to search for opportunity. And it's just getting started. Think about the new homes, the small businesses, the medium-sized businesses. So much more that's going to be needed to support those 3,000 permanent jobs.
That are in factories, that are called factories, by the way. They're called factories, by the way.
Talk to mayors and governors, Democrats and Republicans, and they'll tell you what this means for their communities. We're seeing these field of dreams transform to the heartland. But to maintain the strongest economy in the world, we need the best infrastructure in the world.
You're probably right, Aaron. He's very close to going whisper mode.
As you all know, we used to be #1 in the world in infrastructure. We've sunk to 13th in the world. The United States of America.
Oh, yells for no reason. That, yeah, there you go. Yells for no reason.
Modern infrastructure. But now we're coming back.
He thinks he's President Kirkman from Designated Survivor. You're not.
The largest investment in infrastructure since President Eisenhower's interstate highway system.
It's happening, folks. We're going crazy.
And folks, already we've funded over 20,000 projects, including major airports from Boston to Atlanta to Portland. Projects that are going to put thousands of people to work rebuilding our highways, our bridges,
allegedly,
our railroads, our tunnels, ports, airports, clean water, high-speed internet, all across America. Urban, rural, tribal. And folks, we're just getting started. We're just getting started.
Just getting started.
And I mean it sincerely.
Oh my gosh. Maxine Waters.
Friends who voted for the law.
Republican friends
who voted against it as well. But I still get asked to fund the projects in those districts as well. But don't worry. I promised I'd be a president for all Americans. We'll fund these projects. And I'll see you at the groundbreaking.
Yeah, all right, bro. Whatever you say.
This law will further unite all of America. Projects like Brent Spence Bridge in Kentucky over the Ohio River.
Who are you?
Built 60 years ago. Badly needed repairs. One of the nation's most congested freight routes, carrying $2 billion worth of freight every single day across the Ohio River. And folks, I've been talking about fixing it for decades, but we're really finally going to get it done. Yes. I went there last month with Democrats and Republicans, and from both states, to deliver a commitment of $1.6 billion for this project. And while I was there, I met a young woman named Sarah.
Oh, no.
Who's here tonight. I don't know where Sarah is.
Okay.
Is she up in the box? I don't know. Sarah, how are you?
Got it.
Well,
okay.
Sarah, for 30 years.
Young woman. I guess that's young to Joe.
I learned, she told me she'd been a proud member of the Iron Workers Local 44, known as...
She's been a member of the Iron Workers for 30 years, which means she's had to at least be...
Cowboys in the sky.
Can I write down Yells for No Reason twice?
The folks who built Cincinnati's skyline. Sarah said she can't wait to be 10 stories above the Ohio River building that new bridge. God bless her.
There's a microphone. I hope he knows. There is a microphone in there.
We're building back pride.
Building back pride.
We're also replacing poisonous lead pipes that go into 10 million homes in America, 400,000 school and child care centers. So every child in America can drink the water instead of having permanent damage to their brain. Look.
Interesting.
We're making sure that every community in America has access to affordable high-speed internet. No parent should have to drive by McDonald's parking lot to help them do their homework online with their kids, which many thousands were doing across the country.
Yo, who has a car and can't afford Wi-Fi?
And again, I get criticized for this, but I make no excuses for it.
It's a very strange case.
Buy American.
I get walking to McDonald's. Why did he say drive past McDonald's? You can pay the car insurance, the car note. If you don't have that, whatever. But like all these different gas.
It's totally consistent with international trade rules. Buy America has been the law since 1933, but for too long, past administrations, Democrat and Republican, have not anymore. Tonight, I'm announcing new standards that require all construction materials used in federal infrastructure projects to be made in America.
That's pretty cool. Sounds nice. We'll see where that goes.
Made in America.
Why is the camera zooming in on Pete so much?
I mean it.
Like, what does he have to do with, like, half this stuff? Who is that guy?
Lumber. Drywall, fiber optic cable. And on my watch, American roads, bridges, and American highways are going to be made with American products as well. Folks, my economic plan is about investing in places and people that have been forgotten.
Forgot.
So many of you listen to me tonight. I know you feel it. So many of you felt like you've just simply been forgotten. Maybe economic upheaval of the past 4 decades.
What?
Too many people have been left behind.
Oh, this is eye bleeding?
Like they're invisible.
Not this time.
Maybe that's you watching from home. Remember the jobs that went away. You remember them, don't you? The folks at home remember them.
If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
It doesn't exist anymore for your children to get ahead without having to move away. Well, that's why
he is wired.
I get that.
He is.
That's why we're building an economy where no one's left behind. Jobs are coming back. Pride is coming back. Because choices we made in the last several years. You know, this is my view.
He's in whisper mode now.
To rebuild America and make a real difference in your lives at home. For example, too many of you.
I haven't seen Marjorie Taylor Greene yet.
Lay in bed at night like my dad did.
Can we mark down dad again?
Staring at the ceiling, wondering what in God's names happens if your spouse
mumbles
gets
words.
cancer.
Mumbles words.
Or your child gets deadly ill.
It's better than no.
Or something happens to you.
He's such a caveman.
Are you getting money to pay for those medical bills? Or you're going to have to sell the house or try to get a second mortgage on it. I get it. I get it.
Do you?
With the Inflation Reduction Act that I've signed into law, we're taking on powerful interests to bring health care costs down.
Lord.
So you can sleep better at night with more security. You know, we pay more for prescription drugs than any nation in the world. Let me say it again.
Oh my gosh.
We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth.
Shout out to St. June in the chat.
1 in 10 Americans.
He just drops 100 over there on the Rumble. That's crazy.
In this chamber do, and then the audience. But every day.
Big shout out St. June. Thank you so much, man.
Diabetes, so they can literally stay alive. Insulin's been around for over 100 years.
Gotta update him.
The guy who invented it didn't even patent it because he wanted it to be available for everyone.
Already. Thank you, St. June. Happy to see you over there on Rumble.
Roughly $10 a vial to make that insulin.
We'll leave that for a little while.
To $13. But Big Pharma, fairly charging people hundreds of dollars, $400 to $500 a month, making record profits. Not anymore.
Big Pharma isn't on the list, sadly.
So many.
Did I just hear build the wall chants?
Are only now coming to fruition.
I think I just heard something.
We said we were doing this, and we said we passed the law to do it, but people didn't know because the law didn't take effect until January 1 of this year. We
think I just heard something.
insulin at $35 a month for seniors.
Trump did that first. Trump did that. You undid it and then brought it back and are taking credit for it. Worse.
I'm sure you're getting the same calls I'm getting. Look, there are millions of other Americans
Right, Aaron?
who do not or are
Let me
not on
switch the chat
Medicare,
real quick.
including 200,000 young people with type 1 diabetes and need this insulin to stay alive. Let's finish the job this time.
Everybody in the
Let's
chat.
cap the cost of insulin for everybody at $35.
Everybody talk about it. Talk about it. Drop that insulin.
And Big Pharma's still going to do very well, I promise you all. I promise you they're going to do very well.
That's an interesting statement.
This law also caps and won't even go into effect until 2025. Costs, out-of-pocket drug costs for seniors on Medicare at a maximum of $2,000 a year. You don't have to pay more than $2,000 a year, no matter how much your drug costs are. Because you know why? You all know it. Many of you, like many in my family, have cancer. You know the drugs can range from $10,000, $11,000, $14,000, $15,000 for the cancer drugs. If drug prices rise faster than inflation, drug companies are going to have to pay Medicare back the difference. We're finally,
Oh, the money goes back to the government. Yay! That's what I love to hear.
we're finally giving Medicare the power to negotiate drug prices. Bringing down prescription drug costs doesn't just save seniors money. It cuts the federal deficit by billions of dollars.
He thinks he's so cool.
By
Billions of
hundreds
dollars.
Rub my leg
Because
down.
these prescription drugs
depression.
are drugs purchased by Medicare to keep their commitment to the seniors.
She was
Well,
12,
guess
I
what?
was 30.
Instead of paying $400 or $500 a month, you're paying $15. That's a lot of savings for the federal government.
Is Whisper on the thing?
And by the way,
Hold on.
why wouldn't we want that? Now, some members here are threatening, and I know it's not an official party position, so I'm going to exaggerate, but threatening to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act.
Huh?
As my coach, that's okay. That's fair. As my football coach used to say,
What?
lots of luck in your senior year.
What did he just
Make
say?
no mistake.
I got
If
hairy
you try
legs,
anything to raise the cost of prescription drugs, I will veto it.
and I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Look,
Hey, what's up, Ted?
I'm pleased to say that more Americans
Nadler.
have health insurance now than ever in history. A record 16 million people are enrolled in the Affordable Care Act.
Oh, great.
And thanks to the law I signed last year, saving millions are saving $800 a year on their premiums. And by the way, that law was written and the benefit expires in 2025. So my plea to some of you, at least in this audience, let's finish the job and make these savings permanent. Expand coverage of Medicaid.
Oh, that guy.
Look, the Inflation Reduction Act is also the most significant investment ever in climate change.
Oh, wait, Green New Deal. We go in there? We go in there? Do I market that down?
Lowering utility bills, creating American jobs, leading the world to a clean energy future. I visited the devastating aftermath of record floods,
Nothing about
droughts,
Tesla.
storms, and wildfires from Arizona to Mexico to all the way up to the Canadian border. More timber has been burned that I've observed from helicopters than the entire state of Missouri.
Missouri.
We don't have global warming? Not a problem. In addition to emergency recovery, from Puerto Rico to Florida to Idaho, we're rebuilding for the long term. New electric grids that are able to weather major storms and not prevent those forest fires. Roads and water systems will withstand the next big flood. Clean energy to cut pollution and create jobs in communities often left behind.
Jobs.
We're going to build 500,000 electric vehicle charging stations installed across the country by tens of thousands of IBW workers. And
I don't even know.
families save more than $1,000 a year with tax credits to purchase electric vehicles and efficient appliances, energy-efficient appliances. Historic conservation efforts to be responsible stewards of our land. Let's face reality. The climate crisis doesn't care if you're in a red or blue state. It's an existential threat.
Existential, really?
We have an obligation, not to ourselves, but to our children and grandchildren to confront it.
They said the same thing when they were your age, when they were you young.
Last is stepping up to the challenge. We're still going to need oil and gas for a while. But guess what? No, we do.
Crash the grid, says Aaron. Yeah, just give up.
There's so much more to do.
Just give up.
We got to finish the job. And we pay for these investments in our future by finally making the wealthiest and biggest corporations begin to pay their fair share.
Their fair share. Oh, there you go. As always.
Let's begin.
Take it from the companies. It's not like they're paying anybody, right?
Look, I'm a capitalist.
Lauren.
I'm
No,
a
you're not,
capitalist,
bro.
but pay your fair share.
Pay your fair share.
I think a lot of you
Stop
at
the
home,
cap, bro.
A lot of you at home agree with me and many people that you know. The tax system is not fair. It is not fair.
This progressive tax system that we have? Oh yeah, I agree with you. It's not fair, but probably not the same way you do.
The idea
That's crazy.
that in 2020,
No, yeah, they will crash the grid.
55 of the largest corporations in America, the Fortune 500, made $40 billion in profits and paid zero in federal taxes.
Because they're smart.
Zero?
Because they're smart.
Folks, it's simply not fair.
Why is she wearing a
But now,
crayon?
because of the law I signed, billion-dollar companies have to pay a minimum of 15%. God love them. 15%. That's less than a nurse pays.
Does he not understand that
Let me
15%
be crystal clear. I
for
said
a
at the
company
very
that
beginning,
size is a
under my
lot?
plans, as long as I'm president, nobody earning less than $400,000 will pay an additional penny in taxes. Nobody, not one penny.
He doesn't understand how this works.
But let's
We
finish
will
the
end up
job.
paying for it.
There's more to do. We have to reward work, not just wealth.
He starts the speech by saying, make things in America, then
Pass
wants
my
to tax the
proposal
American
for the
companies to
billionaire
death.
minimum tax. You know, there's 1,000
What the hell?
billionaires in America. It's up from about 600 in the beginning of the term.
Bro.
But no billionaire should be paying a lower tax rate than a school teacher or firefighter. I mean it. Think about it. I mean, look. I know you aren't enthusiastic about that, but think about it. Think about it. Have you noticed Big Oil just reported its profits, record profits? Last year they made $200 billion in the midst of a global energy crisis.
That's great.
I think it's outrageous. Why? They invested too little
many
of that
yes
profit to
men.
increase domestic production. And when I talk to a couple of them, they say, we're afraid you're going to shut down all the oil wells, all the oil refineries anyway.
He did as
so
much
why
as he
should we
could.
invest in them? I said, we're going to need oil for at least another decade.
Not acting like it.
And that's going to exceed and beyond that.
They're laughing at him.
We're going to need it. Production. If they had, in fact, invested in the production to keep gas prices down, instead, they used the record profits to buy back their own stock, rewarding their CEOs and shareholders.
Yeah,
Corporations
this
ought to do
isn't
the right
going well,
thing.
Joe. Turn around.
That's why I propose we quadruple the tax on corporate stock buybacks and encourage long-term investment.
Yeah, just go back on the script so that the script can also tell people to
They'll still
clap.
make considerable profit. Let's finish the job and close the loopholes that allow very wealthy to avoid paying their taxes. Instead of cutting the number of audits for wealthy taxpayers, I just signed a law to reduce the deficit by $114 billion by cracking down on wealthy tax cheats.
What was he trying to say right there?
Responsible. In the last 2 years, my administration has cut the deficit by more than $1.7 trillion, the largest deficit reduction in American history. Under the previous administration, the American deficit went up 4 years in a row. Because those record deficits, no president added more to the national debt in any 4 years than my predecessor. Nearly 25% of the entire national debt that took over 200 years to accumulate was added by just one administration alone, the last one. They're the facts. Check it out.
What about Obama?
Check it out.
Didn't we go from like 8 to 21 trillion?
Respond to that debt. They did the right thing. They lifted the debt ceiling 3 times without preconditions or crisis. They paid American bills to prevent an economic disaster in the country.
Who paid it?
So
Who paid
I'm
it?
asking the Congress to follow suit. Let's commit here tonight to the full faith and credit of the United States of America will never, ever be questioned. So some of my Republican friends want to take the economy hostage. I get it, unless I agree to their economic plan. All of you at home should know what those plans are. Instead of making the wealthy pay their fair share, some Republicans want Medicare and Social Security to sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority. Let me give you, anybody who doubts it, contact my office. I'll give you a copy.
There's Marjorie. She's wearing a white coat.
That means Congress doesn't vote.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad to see
She's saying liar.
I enjoy conversion.
Stop the cap.
You know, it means that if Congress doesn't keep the programs the way they are, they'd go away. Other Republicans say, I'm not saying it's a majority of you. I don't even think it's even a significant.
Who then? Who?
It's being proposed by individuals. I'm not politely naming them, but it's being proposed by someone.
This is a conversation. Oh man, this is getting good.
Folks, the idea is that we're not going to be moved into being threatened to default on the debt if we don't
it's
respond.
going poorly.
Folks,
it's going poorly. They're flabbergasted. They don't know what's going on anymore. You're just sitting there like,
So, folks, as we all apparently agree, Social Security and Medicare is off the books now, right? They're not to be stopped. All right. I'm ready. We got unanimity.
It's a Democrat talking point.
Medicare are a lifeline for millions of seniors. Americans have to pay into them from the very first paycheck they started. So tonight, let's all agree, and we apparently are. Let's stand up for seniors.
Well, who do you think votes for Republicans? Of course they're going to say, stand up for seniors.
Stand up and show them.
You are the senior, Joe.
Social Security. We will not cut Medicare.
This has never been advocated for.
Those benefits belong to the American people. They earned it. And if anyone tries to cut Social Security, which apparently no one's going to do.
Thanks, I guess.
And if anyone tries to cut Medicare, I'll stop them. I'll veto it.
This is news to Joe.
Them to be taken away. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. But apparently it's not going to be a problem. Next month,
good for you.
When I offer my fiscal plan, I ask my Republican friends to lay down their plan as well. I really mean it. Let's sit down together and discuss our mutual plans together. Let's do that.
All right, I guess.
I can tell you, the plan I'm going to show you is going to cut the deficit by another $2 trillion. And it won't cut a single bit of Medicare or Social Security. In fact, we're going to extend the Medicare Trust Fund at least 2 decades, because that's going to be the next argument. How do we keep it solvent, right? Well, we'll not raise tax on anyone making under 400 grand, but
once again,
stop the cap.
We'll pay for it the way we talked about tonight, by making sure that the wealthy and big corporations pay their fair share.
What is the fair share? I've always wondered this.
They aren't just taking advantage of the tax code. They're taking advantage of you, the American consumer. Here's my message to all of you out there. I have your back.
When has taxes ever helped the American consumer?
Surprise medical bills.
That's a good question.
Stopping $1 billion surprise bills per month so far. We're protecting seniors' life savings by cracking down on nursing homes that commit fraud, endanger patient safety, prescribe drugs that are not needed.
Okay.
Millions of Americans can now save thousands of dollars because they can finally get a hearing aid over the counter without a prescription.
Okay.
Look.
Sounds great on paper. Go ahead.
Competition is not capitalism. It's extortion. It's exploitation. Last year, I cracked down with the help of many of you on foreign shipping companies that were making you pay higher prices for every good coming into the country. I signed a bipartisan bill that cut shipping costs by 90%.
Dude, we had the ships like stacked up on the coast for like a year.
Finish the job. Pass the bipartisan legislation to strengthen antitrust enforcement and prevent big online platforms giving their own products an unfair advantage.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
She was 12.
My administration is also taking on junk fees. Those hidden surcharges too many companies use to make you pay more.
This is an interesting thing that he's been doing.
We're making airlines show you the full ticket price up front.
Not terrible.
Refund your money if your flight is canceled or delayed. We've reduced exorbitant bank overdrafts by saving consumers more than $1 billion a year.
I don't know about that one.
We're cutting credit card late fees by 75% from $30 to $8.
Oof. That just feels like it's going to promote irresponsibility.
Junk fees.
That last one, at least. And maybe that one before that as well. I don't know.
Folks in homes like the one I grew up in, like many of you did. They add up to hundreds of dollars a month. They make it harder for you to pay your bills or afford that family trip. I know how unfair it feels.
How'd they go from not being able to afford Wi-Fi, driving to McDonald's, to like trying to plan a family trip?
We've written a bill to stop it all. It's called the Junk Fee Prevention Act. We're going to ban surprise resort fees that hotels charge on your bill. Those fees can cost you up to $90 a night at hotels that aren't even resorts. The idea.
That's a good one, I think.
Cable, internet, and cell phone companies can charge you $200 or more if you decide to switch to another provider. Give me a break.
This is a really good marketing
We can
point.
stop service fees.
This will be great for him.
To concerts and sporting events.
Ticketmaster.
Disclose all
It's
fees
smart.
up front.
It's smart.
And we'll prohibit airlines from charging $50 round trip for family just to be able to sit together. Baggage fees are bad enough. Airlines can't treat your child like a piece of baggage.
Baggage.
Americans are tired of being.
Oh, it's good.
We're tired of being played for suckers.
They're getting played for suckers in the midst of this. That's the funny part.
Pass the Junk Free Prevention Act so companies stop ripping us off. For too long, workers have been getting stiffed.
Why is Kevin smiling?
Anymore.
What did somebody yell?
We're beginning to restore the dignity of work. For example,
Dignity of work?
I should have known this, but I didn't until 2 years ago.
What?
30 million workers have to sign non-compete agreements for the jobs they take.
He hasn't been middle class
So
Joe in a while, so he doesn't know
at
this.
a burger place can't walk across town and take the same job at another burger place and make a few bucks more. It just changed. But they just changed it because we exposed it. That was part of the deal, guys. Look it up. But not anymore. We're banning those agreements so companies have to compete for workers and pay them what they're worth.
This is hilarious. He gives the gravitas to all these people constantly.
And I must tell you,
He can't let it go. Look at Ayanna Presley.
Response from my friends on my left but the right.
Oh, that was
We're
good.
so sick and tired
That was
of
good.
companies breaking the law by preventing workers from organizing. Pass the PRO Act. Because business have a right. Workers have a right to form a union.
Interesting.
And let's guarantee all workers have a living wage. Let's make sure working parents can afford to raise a family with sick days, paid family medical leave, affordable child care.
I thought they were struggling to pay Wi-Fi.
It's going to enable millions of more people to go and stay at work. And let's restore the full child tax credit, which gave tens of millions of parents some breathing room and cut child poverty in half to the lowest level in history. And by the way, when we do all these things, we increase productivity. We increase economic growth. So let's finish the job and get more families access to affordable, quality housing. Let's get seniors who want to stay in their homes the care they need to do so. Let's give more breathing room to millions of family caregivers looking after their loved ones. Pass my plan so we get seniors and people with disabilities the home care and services they need. and support the workers who are doing God's work. These plans are fully paid for, and we can afford to do them. Restoring the dignity of work means making education an affordable ticket to the middle class. You know, when we made public education, 12 years of it, universal in the last century, we made the best educated, best paid, we became the best educated, best paid nation in the world. But the rest of the world's caught up. It's caught up.
And modernized.
Jill, my wife, who teaches full time, has an expression.
That was one of them. He didn't say,
Any
"I'm
nation
Jill's
that
husband."
Educates us is going to outcompete us.
Is there a teacher in the
Any nation
gallery?
that educates going to outcompete us.
Is there a teacher in the gallery?
Folks, we all know 12 years of
Who is that?
education is not enough to win the economic competition of 21st century. We want to have the best educated workforce. Let's finish the job by providing access to preschool for 3 and 4 years old. Studies show that children who go to preschool are
How is he talking about the deficit?
50% more likely to finish high school and go on to earn a 2 or 4 year degree.
And then saying all
No
this.
matter their background they came from. Let's give public school teachers a raise.
Hey, at least match inflation. How about that? You've basically taken money out of their pocket with the way things have been going. I say you might, yeah, give them a raise so that you can bring it back to where it was 4 years ago.
We're making progress by reducing student debt, increasing Pell Grants.
Oh, reducing
for working
student
and
debt.
middle-class families. Let's finish the job and connect students to
There goes
career
the economy.
opportunities starting in high school. Provide access to 2 years of community college. The best career training in America, in addition to being a pathway to a 4-year degree. Let's offer every
Send them to the
American a path to a
indoctrination
good
center.
career, whether they go to college or not. And folks, in the midst of the COVID crisis,
The COVID
when
crisis?
schools were closed, and we were shutting down everything.
I think you forgot he was speaking there for a second.
Recognize how far we came in the fight against the pandemic itself. While the virus is not gone, thanks to the resilience of the American people and the ingenuity of medicine, we've broken the COVID grip on us.
Right, bro.
COVID deaths are down by 90%. We've saved millions of lives and opened up our country. We opened our country back up.
How do you think that was
And
done?
soon we'll end the public health emergency. But that's called a public health emergency. But we'll remember the toll and pain that's never going to go away. More than 1 million Americans lost their lives to COVID. 1 million. Families grieving.
Assuming those numbers are correct.
Children orphaned. Empty chairs at the dining room table constantly reminding you.
You know how many skydivers died of
used to sit there.
COVID-19 and totally not the fact they didn't have a parachute?
Remembering them. We remain vigilant. We still need to monitor dozens of variants and support new vaccines and treatments.
There it is.
So
There it
Congress
is.
needs to fund these efforts and keep America safe.
Yeah, keep giving money to
And
them.
as we
Don't
emerge
stop.
from this crisis,
You can't
stronger.
keep getting away with
we're
it.
also got to double down on prosecuting criminals who stole relief money meant to keep workers and small businesses afloat.
Well, I have no issue with that, if I'm being honest. Like, sure, it's fraud, but how do you think, it's taxes? They've been taking taxes for generations. Give a little something back. You're talking about free
Before I
college
came
and all
to
that.
office, you remember,
Let the people running
during that
salons get a little
campaign,
extra
the big
money.
issue was about inspector generals who would protect taxpayers' dollars who were sidelined. They were fired. Many people said we don't need them. And fraud became rampant. Last year,
I know a thing or two
I
about
told you
fraud
the
becoming
watchdogs
rampant.
are back. Since then, we've recovered billions of taxpayers' dollars. Now let's triple the anti-fraud strike force going after these criminals, double the statute of limitations on these crimes, and crack down on identity fraud by criminal syndicates stealing billions of dollars.
How do you
Billions
suppose
of
we do
dollars
that?
from the American people.
How is that supposed to be done? Huh? I mean, you make
The
it.
data shows that for every dollar we put into fighting fraud, the taxpayers get back at least 10 times as much. It matters.
By not
It
having their
matters.
identity stolen, I mean, I
Look.
guess yes.
COVID left its scars, like the spike in violent crime in 2020,
Huh?
first year of the pandemic.
Wonder how that
We have an
happened.
obligation to make sure all people are safe. Public safety depends on public trust, as all of us know. But too often that trust is violated.
Uh-oh. Where are you going? Where are you going
Join
with
us
this?
tonight are the parents of Tyree Nichols.
Oh boy.
Welcome.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Just don't look at the skins of the people that actually killed him. That's not important. No, it's not important. It was white supremacy, of course.
Yep.
That nothing else.
You can't keep getting
I had to
away with
bury
it.
Tyree last week.
Oh yeah.
As
We
many
go
of
into
you
the Capitol.
personally know, there's no words to describe the heartache or grief of losing a child.
Uh-oh. Mentions
But imagine if you lost that child at the hands of the law. Imagine
this is where we're at.
having to worry whether your son or daughter came home from walking down the street, playing in the park, or just driving a car.
McDonald's for Wi-Fi?
Most of us in here have never had to have the talk.
Oh,
that brown and black parents
don't
have had
go
to have
there.
with their children.
Don't even go there.
Oh, Hunter, Ashley, my children. I never had to have the talk with them.
I think I'll mark that
I never
down for
had to tell them
mentions.
if a police officer pulls
Son.
you over, turn your interior lights on right away.
Shut up. Shut up. It's
Don't
so
reach for your
it's so
license.
stupid. That's
Keep your
why.
hands on the steering wheel.
That's why. We perpetuate
Imagine
that
having to worry
fear.
like that every single time.
Yes, you perpetuate
got
the
in the car.
worrying. That's the problem.
Here's what Tyree's mother shared with me when I spoke to her.
Be responsible.
When I asked her how she finds the courage to carry on and speak out.
Speak out.
The faith of God, she said her son was, quote, a beautiful soul, and something good will come of this. Imagine how much courage and character that takes. It's up to us, to all of us. We all want the same thing. Neighborhoods free of violence. Law enforcement who earns the community's trust. Just as every cop, when they pin on that badge in the morning, has a right to be able to go home at night, so does everybody else out there. Our children have a right to come home safely.
That's not really a statement.
Equal protection under the law is a covenant we have with each other in America. We know police officers put their lives on the line every single night and day. And we know we ask them in many cases to do too much, to be counselors, social workers, psychologists, responding to drug overdoses, mental health crises, and so much more.
Send a social worker? Is that where
In
this
one
is
sense,
going?
we ask much too much of them.
Nope.
I know most cops and their families are good, decent, honorable people, the vast
Yep.
majority. But they risk.
Yeah, everybody stands and claps for that one, thankfully. Although I wonder how many of these bozos were saying defund the police 2 years ago.
And
Don't
they
even
risk
show me
their
Majorcas.
lives every time they put that shield on.
Okay, based so far.
What happened to Tyree in Memphis happens too often. We have to do better. Give law enforcement the real training they need. Hold them to higher standards. Help them succeed in keeping us safe. We also need more first responders and professionals to address the growing mental health, substance abuse challenges. More resources to reduce violent crime and gun crime.
No. Your solution to that is sending out crack pipes to LA.
More
Don't talk
investment
about
in
substance
housing,
abuse.
education, and job training.
That's what the Inflation Reduction Act was doing. Don't forget it.
All this can help prevent violence in the first place.
I gotta tweet that.
Police officers-
I gotta tweet that now.
Where police departments violate the public trust, they must be held accountable. With the support of the families of victims, civil rights groups, and law enforcement, I signed an executive order for all federal officers banning chokeholds, restricting no-knock warrants, and other key elements of the George Floyd Act. Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true.
Didn't Trump do a lot of that?
Something good must come from this. Something good. And all of us,
Oh, is he all right?
all of us,
Are you all right, Joe? That's the second one in a row. It's over.
folks, it's difficult, but it's simple. All of us in this chamber, we need to rise to this moment.
Oh, did he say Tyler a second ago?
Can't turn away.
I didn't hear that.
Let's
No
do what
way.
we know in our hearts that we need to do. Let's come together to finish the job on police reform.
do you mean by that?
something. Do something. That was the plea of parents who lost their children in Uvalde. I met with every one of them.
Oh, there. Now we're going there.
Do something about gun violence.
Gun violence. Whoa.
Thank God.
What's that?
Thank God we did.
Oh, what'd you do?
Passing the most sweeping gun safety law in 3 decades. That
Gun
includes
safety.
Things like that the majority of responsible gun owners already support. Enhanced background checks for 18 to 21 years old. Red flag laws.
Oh, no.
Keeping guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves and others. But we know
I
our
heard he
work
was a
is not
Republican.
done.
He can't have a gun.
Joining us tonight is Brandon Say, a 26-year-old hero. Brandon put his college dreams on hold to be at his mom's side. His mom's side when she was dying from cancer.
Does that have to do with gun violence?
And Brandon,
Failing to see the connection here. Give me a moment. See what he says. That seemed like a really
Brandon
wild
now
jump.
works at the dance studio started by his grandparents. And 2 weeks ago, during the Lunar New Year celebrations, he heard the studio door close.
There it
He
is.
saw a man standing there pointing
Okay.
a semi-automatic pistol at him.
Got it.
He thought he was going to die.
Where is this dance studio
But he
again?
thought about the people inside. And in that instant, he found the courage to act and wrestled a semi-automatic pistol away from the gunman who had already killed 11 people in another dance studio.
Dang.
11. He saved lives.
Man, those dance
It's time we
studios
do
should have
the
had armed
same.
guards.
Ban assault weapons now. Ban them now.
What's an assault weapon?
Once and for all.
What is an assault weapon? I've never quite figured this out because he just talked about. Wait, didn't he say a semi-automatic pistol a second ago?
In 1994. And in 10 years, that ban was law and mass shootings went down. After we let it expire in the Republican administration, mass shootings tripled. Let's finish the job and ban these assault weapons. And let's also come together on immigration.
Assault weapons. There's
Make
a
it
jump.
a bipartisan issue once again.
On immigration, what are we talking about? You know, amnesty for all, open borders. I know he won't say it, but is that what he means?
We now have a record number of personnel working to secure the border.
Secure the border.
Arresting 8,000 human smugglers.
Oh,
seizing
smugglers.
over 23,000 pounds of fentanyl in just the last several months.
Sure.
We've launched a new border plan.
Wonder how
last
much
month.
got through.
Unlawful migration from Cuba, Haiti,
don't show me
Nicaragua,
this
and
guy.
Venezuela has come down 97%.
I can't look at this guy ever.
But
I never
American
want
border
to.
problems won't be fixed until Congress acts. If we don't pass my comprehensive immigration reform, at least pass my plan to provide the equipment and officers to secure the border.
If you were for border security, they would have passed it. Yeah, show Ted Cruz. He
And
knows
a
a thing or two
pathway
about
to
the border.
citizenship
He's ran on
for
it quite a few
dreamers.
times.
Those on temporary status, farm workers, essential workers,
Awesome.
here in the people's house.
Yeah, amnesty
It's
for
our
a
duty
few
to
people.
protect all the people's
That's what I
rights and
said.
freedoms.
That's what I said he would say. Knew
Congress
it.
must restore the right and the
Kevin McCarthy's saying,
Congress
you don't know
must restore
nothing.
the right that was taken away.
That should have chanted build the
Roe v.
wall.
Wade, and protect
Oh,
Roe
there you
v.
go.
Wade.
Talk about abortion. Mark it down. Somehow we went from gun reform to immigration to abortion. He's just going on like lightning round right now, ain't he?
The Vice President and I are doing everything to protect access to reproductive health care.
Reproductive health care.
Safeguard
Ha.
patient safety.
Man, if
Well,
abortion is
already more than a
reproductive
dozen states are enforcing
health care,
extreme abortion bans.
then slavery
Make no mistake
is, you
about
know,
If
an
Congress
employment
passes a
office.
national ban, I will veto it.
Crazy. Crazy.
But let's also pass the Bipartisan Equality Act to ensure LGBTQ Americans, especially transgender young
LGTB.
people, can live with safety and dignity.
What is a transgender young person? You talking about minors? Are we talking about
Our
minors right
strength is
now?
not just the example of our power, but the power of our example.
Uh-oh.
Let's remember the world's watching. I spoke from this chamber 1 year ago, just days after Vladimir Putin unleashed his brutal attack against Ukraine.
Again.
A murderous assault, evoking images of death and destruction Europe suffered in World War II.
Look at all that.
Putin's invasion has been a test for the ages, a test for America, a test for the world. Would we stand for the most basic of principles? Would we stand for sovereignty? We stand for the right of people to live free of tyranny? Will we stand for the defense of democracy? For such defense matters to us because it keeps peace and prevents open season on would-be aggressors and threatens our prosperity. 1 year later, we know the answer. Yes, we would, and we did.
Thought I was about to say yes, we can for a second.
And together, we did what America always does at our best. We led. We united NATO. We built a global coalition.
Yeah.
We stood against Putin's aggression.
Billions and billions.
We stood with the Ukrainian people
to
tonight.
Ukraine.
We're once again joined by Ukraine's ambassador to the United States. She represents not just her nation, but the courage of her people. Our ambassador is here. We're united in our support of your country.
Can't even do
Will
it.
you stand so we can all take a look at you?
I think he had to find a way around saying her name. I think that was it. He didn't want to say her name. But that's probably too complicated to say. That's my guess. Maybe it's very simple. I don't know.
Because we're going to stand with you as long as it takes. Our nation's working for more freedom, more dignity, more peace, not just in Europe, but everywhere.
Allegedly.
Before I came to office, the story was about
true.
how the People's Republic of China was increasing its power, and America was failing in the world. Not anymore. We made clear, and I made clear in my personal conversation with President Xi, that we seek competition.
He hasn't gone outside.
But I will make no apologies that we're investing to make America stronger. Investing in American innovation and industries that will define the future that China intends to be dominating. Investing in our alliances.
Shut up, McCarthy. Bro, I don't want to see one like.
So they will not be used
Rhino.
against us.
Get out of here, Rhino.
Our military
We shouldn't have let him win. We shouldn't have.
Stability and deter aggression. Today, we're in the strongest position in decades to compete with China or anyone else in the world. Anyone else in the world. And I'm committed. I'm committed to work with China where we can advance American interests and benefit the world. But make no mistake about it. As we made clear last week, if China threatens our sovereignty, we will act to protect our country, and we did.
No, you didn't. You had a chance to when it was still over the Pacific, when you knew it was there.
Look,
they detected it. Nothing. let's see what happens.
Winning the competition should unite all of us. We face serious challenges across the world. But in the past 2 years, democracy has become stronger, not weaker. Autocracy has grown weaker, not stronger. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one.
What?
America's rallying the world to meet
Bro,
those
calm
challenges,
down.
from climate to global health, to food insecurity, to terrorism, to territorial aggression.
Bro, Xi Jinping is smiling.
Stepping up, spending more, and doing more.
This is his favorite State of the Union ever.
The bridges we're forming between partners in the Pacific and those in the Atlantic, and those who bet against America are learning how wrong they are. It's never, ever been a good bet to bet against America. Never.
Did we see Nancy Pelosi shaking her head every time Democrats screamed at Trump? Did we see that? Did we see that? No. Because she said, yeah, those are people. But Kevin McCarthy? Kevin McCarthy?
Most assured that bipartisanship assumed was impossible.
He's part of the game, folks. He's part of the game.
Never believed it. That's why a year ago I offered a unity agenda to the nation as I stood here. We made real progress together. We passed a law making it easy for doctors to prescribe effective treatments for opioid addiction. We passed
just sell them crack. They'll be fine.
Historic investments in mental health. We launched the ARPA-H drive for breakthrough in the fights against cancer, Alzheimer's, and diabetes, and so much more.
Diabetes.
We passed the Heath Robinson PACT Act, named after the late Iraq War veteran whose story about exposure to toxic burn kits I shared here last year.
I think I can smell popcorn. I think somebody has legitimately made popcorn for this. I can smell it. This is truly a show, folks.
I understand something about those burn pits, but there's so much more to do. We can do it together. Joining us tonight is a father named Doug from Newton, New Hampshire. He wrote Jill, my wife, a letter, and me as well.
Why didn't he say I'm
about his
Jill's
courageous
husband?
daughter, Courtney.
Dang it.
A contagious laugh, his sister's best friend, her sister's best friend. He shared a story all too familiar to millions of Americans and many of you in the audience. Courtney discovered pills in high school. It spiraled into addiction and eventually death from a fentanyl overdose.
Yep.
She was just 20 years old.
Wonder what border they came over.
Describing the last 8 years without her, Doug said, "There's no worse pain." Yet their family has turned pain to purpose, working to end the stigma.
What was 8 years ago?
Laws. He told us he wants to start a journey toward American recovery. Doug, we're with you. Fentanyl is killing more than 70,000
That was when there was no
Americans a
border
year.
wall. Build the wall.
You got it.
Yes. Oh, did you hear that guy? Did you hear that guy? Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
So let's launch a major surge to stop fentanyl production and the sale.
I
and
was the same
trafficking
way before.
With more drug detection machines, inspection cargo, stop pills and powder at the border.
He thinks he can. He thinks he can.
Working with couriers like FedEx to inspect more packages for drugs. Strong penalties to crack down on fentanyl trafficking. Second, let's do more on mental health, especially for our children. When millions of young people are struggling with bullying, violence, trauma, we owe them greater access to mental health care at their schools. We must finally hold social media companies accountable for experimenting they're doing running children for profit. It's time to pass bipartisan legislation to stop big tech from collecting personal data on our kids and teenagers online.
Well, hey, I think I might like that.
Targeted advertising to children and impose stricter limits on the personal data that companies collect on all of us.
And on top of that, we should stop showing the drag queens to them on the internet too. I think that's a great next step.
To equip those we send in the
Stop giving them information on privates, if you know what I'm saying. Come on, guys.
Job placement for veterans and their spouses as they come to return to civilian life. Helping veterans afford the rent, because no one should be homeless in America, especially someone who served the country.
Yeah. Let's start making sure that illegal immigrants aren't coming so that we can open up those facilities for homeless veterans. Because, you know, Governor of New York did open up a major facility for illegal immigrants. But you know what, whatever.
Dennis McDonough is here, of the VA. Recruits veterans to help other veterans understand what they're going through.
There we go.
Get them the help they need.
Sorry, guys. We dropped for a second there.
And fourth,
we're back now, though.
Last year, Jill and I reignited the cancer moonshot.
There we go.
That I was able to start with President Obama asked me to lead our administration on this issue. Our goal is to cut the cancer death rates at least by 50% in the next 25 years. Turn more cancers from death sentences to treatable diseases. Provide more support for patients and their families. It's personal to so many of us in this audience.
St. Jude.
Joining us are Morris and Candice, an Irishman and a daughter of immigrants from Panama. They met and fell in love in New York City and got married in the same chapel Jill and I got married in New York City.
Interesting.
Kindred spirits. He wrote us a letter about his little daughter, Ava, and I saw her just before I came over. She was just a year old when she was diagnosed with rare kidney disease, cancer. After 26 blood transfusions, 11 rounds of radiation, 8 rounds of chemo, 1 kidney removed, giving a 5% survival rate. He wrote how in the darkest moments he thought, if she goes, I can't stay.
He's got to cure cancer by the end of his term. He said he would do it. It's your fault, Joe.
I understand that, like so many of you.
Campaign promise right there.
We read Jill's book describing our family's cancer journey and how we tried to steal moments of joy where we could with Bo. For them, that glimmer of joy was the half smile of their baby girl. It meant everything to them. They never gave up hope. Little Ava never gave up hope.
Yeah.
She turns 4 next month.
Beautiful. Beautiful story.
They just found out Ava's beating the odds, is on her way to being cured of cancer. And she's watching from the White House tonight if she's not asleep already.
What? What?
There's a lot we can say.
What?
What are we talking about?
Yo, what's she doing over there? Her parents are here.
The lives we've lost. Let this be a truly American moment that rallies the country and the world together.
Yo, what's she doing at the White House?
We can still do big things.
You can't keep
20 years ago, under the leadership of President Bush and countless advocates and champions, he undertook a bipartisan effort through PEPFAR to transform the global fight against HIV/AIDS. It's been a huge success.
Tell me I wasn't the only one.
He thought big. He thought large. He moved.
Yeah.
I believe we can do the same thing with cancer.
No, it's a great story. I think this is one of the best things he said tonight. It's a very general,
Let's end cancer as we know it.
positive American
Cure
story.
some cancers once and for all. Folks, there's one reason why we've been able to do all of these things.
Oh, Aaron, you must be ahead of me, aren't
for
you?
democracy itself.
Because
the
he
most
quoted what
fundamental thing of
Biden
all.
said like a minute ago.
With democracy, everything's possible. Without it, nothing is. The last few years, our democracy has been threatened and attacked, put at risk, put to the test in this very room on January the 6th.
Very interesting. Oh,
And then
there we
just
go.
a few months ago,
January the 6th. Mark it down.
an unhinged big lie, assailed and unleashed a political violence, the home of the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, using the very same language the insurrectionists used as they stalked these
Marking
halls
some
and
things
chanted
down.
on January 6th. Here tonight in this chamber is a man who bears the scars of that brutal attack, but is as tough and as strong, as resilient as they get. My friend Paul Pelosi. Paul, stand up.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, the hammer thing. I knew I recognized that guy. I think she forgot he was here, too. She's like, who is that guy?
But such a heinous act should have never happened. We must all speak out. There's no place for political violence in America. We have to protect the right to vote, not suppress the fact.
He's like, oh, yeah, I got a husband.
Honor the results of our elections, not subvert the will of the people. We have to uphold the rule of law and restore trust in our institutions of democracy.
Not gonna happen, bro.
We must give hate and extremism in any form no safe harbor.
Bro, do you know how many... do you know how hateful of a person you have to be to, like, wear a pin that says abortion? One of these bozos is wearing one.
Issue.
Threat to our
It's
democracy?
an American issue.
I think we'll count that as threat to our democracy.
Every generation of Americans has faced a moment where they have been called to protect our democracy,
Yeah,
defend it,
yeah.
stand up for it.
Yeah,
And this is our moment.
yeah. There you go.
My fellow Americans,
There we go.
we meet tonight at an inflection point, one of those moments that only a few generations ever face, where the direction we now take is going to decide
Aaron, are you
the course of
ahead?
this nation for decades to
Are
come.
you ahead? Is that what it is?
We're not bystanders of history.
Because he
We're not
just
powerless
said
before
that.
the forces that confront us.
You're ahead, aren't you? That's got to be
It's
it.
within
I
our
clicked a
power
few times.
Of we the people. We're facing the test of our time. We have to be the nation we've always
Either
been.
that
at
or
our
he has
best.
the script.
Optimistic, hopeful,
Aaron,
forward-looking.
if you have the script, drop
nation
it.
that embraces light over dark, hope over fear, unity over division, stability over chaos.
Truth
We
over
have to
facts?
see each other not as enemies,
Truth
but as
over
fellow
facts?
Americans. We're good people. The only nation in the world built on an idea. The only one.
That's all of us. Every one of us is created equal in the image of God.
Other nations are defined by geography, ethnicity. But we're the only nation based on an idea that all of us, every one of us, is created equal in the image of God.
Bro, you're ahead. You're
A
playing
nation
with
that
me.
stands as a beacon
No,
of the
you're
world.
playing. He's pulling my leg. I know it.
A nation in a new age of possibilities. So I've come to fulfill my constitutional obligation to report in the State of the Union. And here's my report.
Here's my
Because
report.
the soul of this nation is
Soul of
strong.
the nation? Do I have that already?
Because the backbone,
Yeah, I got
of this
that.
nation is strong.
Backbone.
Because the people of this nation are strong. The State of the Union is strong.
He's freaking me out. He just turned 2 pages.
I'm not new to this place. I stand here tonight having served as long as about any one of you have ever served here. But I've never been more optimistic about our future.
Bro, you're like double most of these people.
Just to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our truth. Thank you.
Rebecca says speech was leaked, Chandler. Is that true? Is that true? Because I didn't know this at all. All right, don't go anywhere, folks. We're gonna be watching the Republican response as well, so don't go anywhere. Because you know there's always a response. Let me see, and it's gonna be given by Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I could turn that down real quick. And I never know where to watch it. I think. Let's see, is that live? Yeah. Okay, so we'll watch it through here. I think this should give a pretty good idea of it. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, the governor of, I think it's Arkansas. I get it mixed up, but yeah, okay, Arkansas. Good, I was right. She's going to be delivering the GOP response, which should be relatively interesting. But the GOP was, oh, there's Warnock, that boy from Georgia. Dang. Yeah. Oh man, that's just a big L right there. Just seeing Warnock. Ugh. Who is that? That guy looks familiar. Is that Hickenlooper? No, I don't think so. Is Hickenlooper even still in? That's the 2019 name right there. I haven't heard it in a while. Rebecca again says Chandler, the speech was leaked. I don't believe it. Why did he just grab her cheeks, bro? What the? Watch this. Hold on. What do you do? Yo, bro. Yo, Joe. No. I'm tweeting that. I don't know if anybody else caught that. Oh, it's over. It's over. He cannot stop his creepy ways. He cannot be stopped. Joe simply cannot stop his creepy ways. We're gonna put a tears emoji. Oh my gosh, look at this. He cannot be stopped. Why did he grab her cheeks like that, dude? Why? No, Joe. Come on, bro. No. Oh. You know what, guys?
Rub my leg down, and I've loved kids jumping on my lap. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway. I got hairy legs.
And of course, the creme de la creme of my Biden sayings.
In San Francisco is all about, well, you know, gay bathhouses, and everybody. It's all about round-the-clock sex. It's all, come on, man.
Ooh, no good. Thankfully, they've now turned the camera away from Joe so we can't see him grab any more cheeks or any other inappropriate... Oh, nope, I spoke far too soon. He's standing next to his victim. Still. Oh, man. He's talking to a few people. Oh, this is some interesting stuff, truly. It really is. We're going to wait a little bit longer for the Sarah Huckabee Sanders response. And wow, it appears we do have the Biden speech, prepared remarks, DocX. This could take a moment. What is this? Wow. When was this released? It would appear that, yes, indeed, the speech was leaked. No, wait, hold on. Let me scroll through this real quick and make sure it doesn't have any personal information. Yeah, the speech was leaked. Guys, check this out. This is the speech that we just heard. A story that is unique among all nations. Hold on, do we have anything about G? Yeah, I've made clear with President Xi that we seek competition, not conflict. Before I came to office, the story was about how was increasing its power and America was falling in the world. Not anymore. This is the speech. And Aaron was quoting this as it was happening. So my friend Paul Pelosi, there it is. We can do a quick search for Tyree. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow, let me zoom in a little so you guys can see it better. I realize it might have been small, but yeah, this is everything we were just hearing. What a great administration. I wonder who sent this out there. That's insane. That is incredible. That truly is. Yeah, yes, I received it. That's crazy. Yeah, St. June, you're right. It really was leaked. Once again, shout out to St. June for the Rumble rant over on Rumble. Shout out to the folks we have over on Rumble. Let me throw the Rumble chat up real quick. We're gonna keep a close eye on Joe. He's interacting with Millie, or at least sort of. What's going on here? He's talking to somebody else. Who is this? Can I recognize this person from the back of their head? Probably not. But anyways, we still are waiting for Sarah Huckabee Sanders to jump in. Let's see if she's been tweeting anything. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. See if she's posted anything. Governor of Arkansas. So, yep, nothing yet. Just talking about how she's going to knock it out of the park. Tim Scott did the most recent Republican response. I remember that. I believe it was Tim Scott. It might have been somebody else. I don't know. It was a while ago. It was like a whole year ago, guys. These are hard things to remember. Shout out to Recontact, Ravenous, Therese09 over there on Rumble. Therese says, why didn't Jilly smooch with Paul? Paulie too? I don't know. Who's Joe talking with now? It appears we've got a little bit of time before Sarah Huckabee pops up, so we'll take a look. He's just kind of going through the crowd, taking his time, working the room in a way. He's got a 4-year-old at the White House waiting for him, so he's really gonna enjoy things before he calls a lid on the night, and I don't know, enjoys a good sniff. It's definitely I was freaking out when he said that, if I'm being honest. Why did he say that? She's watching from the White House tonight. Like there's nothing in most contexts wrong with that, but Joe's history makes that so maybe if I was on his staff, if I was his, we had this hypothetical. If I was his communications director, his press secretary, anything to this guy, even just a lowly assistant, and they looked at me and they said, hey, and he said, some random stereotypically black sounding name because he probably wouldn't remember my name, but he'd say, hey, what do you think of this one, you? And he looks at you, he points to the chart and points to the part of the speech. Was it in the speech? Hold on. Let's, since we have it here, 4 years old, what was her name? Ava. So let's just do that at a space. Ava never gave up hope. They just found out. Yeah, okay, so it was written. It was written, which is better in some ways, but worse in a lot more. They just found out that Ava beat the odds and is on her way to being cancer-free. And she's watching from the White House tonight. Like, can you guys hear that the same way I hear that? Is that just me? I don't know. I don't know. But if I were on his staff, I would say, maybe we don't have that part. Maybe we don't. Now, is it my fault a little bit for, viewing the president in that light? Maybe it is. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's my thoughts on the matter. I hope maybe you guys have a slightly different opinion. We're still waiting on, did he just wink? We're still waiting on Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It was really funny when we zoomed in on John Fetterman for a moment. This is, it truly was an amazing moment. Nomad says, Chandler and chat were more entertaining than the offender's speech. I appreciate that one. That means a lot. I mean, it's a low bar, if I'm being honest, to jump, but I'm still happy I can jump that bar. Even, just taking a step over the bar is a good progress, so I'm happy to do that. Therese says, I'm new here, Crump. You're really good. I subscribed and will start following you. Thank you so much, Therese. I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I'm happy to continue doing it here and there, especially when big things happen. We normally stream exclusively on Rumble, doing a few things, and mostly gaming these days, because my days are quite a bit busy. But State of the Union was coming up. I had to give you guys a little piece of the action, and we'll try to do a few shows here and there, at least a few a month, to keep the action going. I can't, of course, commit to an 8 p.m. every Tuesday schedule like I did before, but I'm going to try to keep bringing shows to you guys, especially when big things happen, like we were doing for the Twitter files, or like we did here. And you guys know big things happen quite often, so expect a lot of streams from me. And don't think we're going anywhere. We're still waiting on the Sarah Huckabee Sanders response. We've got plenty more show for y'all tonight. And then even after the response, we're going to be doing a little bit of gaming over on Rumble, depending on how long Sarah Huckabee goes. We might have to wrap, because I don't want to stream past midnight or so, because we got things to do tomorrow. But regardless, there will be even more exclusive content for you guys over on Rumble and Local. So while I have you here, please make sure you consider joining us over on rumble.com/c/Chandler. You can just go to rumble.com, actually just /Chandler, and it'll take you to our channel. I got that URL. If you are already watching on Rumble, don't feel the need to go anywhere. Just make sure you subscribe. But if you are watching us on YouTube, definitely make sure you follow the link in the description, or visit us up here in this link, and I'll drop it in the chat so that you never miss out on our streams. YouTube has absolutely demolished my account over the last few years. So if you want to stay tuned in everything we've got going, that is your way to do it. Still waiting on her response. Also, of course, make sure you check us out over on Locals, chandlercrump.locals.com, for all sorts of exclusive content, including our live streams. They're a little buggy right now because I'm in the Locals beta, but once that gets all fixed up, it's really amazing how their stuff works, because the chat is almost instant, and you can post images. Like, real quick, I'll actually show that Renegade Demon was posting images in the chat, some sort of meme, because I have my calming picture ready to deal with the lives that are about to come, and it's this really calming picture of Minecraft, it looks like. So you could post images in the Locals chat. If that doesn't sell you guys, I don't know what will. You could post GIFs as well. Really cool things, a lot cooler than this guy. He looks actually relatively hot right now. I think he's probably been sweating under those lights. You know, he's gonna go back and have a nice cold shower, maybe with or without Ava. We'll see. We do know that Joe Biden does like to shower with young girls, including his own daughter, but you know, we'll move on from that. It's a sad and disgusting fact, but hey, regardless, it is true. We're still waiting on him to leave the chamber. I think this is a relatively long time for him to hang out here. I don't know if Trump ever hung out this long. I mean, I haven't been around to see that many State of the Unions. I mean, I saw some of Obama's back in the days, but I was too young to remember them. And sorry if that makes you guys feel old, but it's just the truth. But seeing Trump's and then seeing Joe's so far is kind of like, it's just a small comparison. I don't know. I mean, this is Joe's first time doing it at full capacity, if I remember correctly, right? Because in the 2022 one, the first one he did that was a real State of the Union, it was like, there's like maybe 60 people in there because they had them all spread out, something like that. I don't know. It was weird. Maybe we'll look it up real quick just to remind you guys. Joe Biden pandemic State of the Union. It was something, and like it was so spread out, like there was nobody there. Yeah, here, let me do social distancing State of the Union. Look that up real quick. Because there's this one image. Yeah. So this is not the best representation of it, but you can see here, everybody's like really spread out. I'll open this in a new tab so you can see it a bit better. We can zoom in, but yeah, everybody's all spread out. This is how, yeah, and they had the masks and everything too. Yuck. I think this is the one that was like the special session or the special joint session. It was a State of the Union without it actually being a State of the Union, which was relatively strange. But as you can see, they were all spread out. I don't even know if there were that many Republicans, if even at all, at this one, now that I think about it. But everybody was masked up out here looking crazy. So all sorts of strange things. We're still waiting on the GOP response. Very, very interesting. Maybe they have to wait for Joe to leave the chamber. That's entirely possible as well. Feel free to hit me up in the comments while we wait. I'm gonna keep a close eye on that for y'all. Shout out Aaron, Agarson, Craig, St. June, everybody in there. Aaron says the gray-haired woman keeping the camera people at a distance ahead of Joe. That's funny. That's some great stuff. He's just chatting it up. He's
East End, Suffolk County, sir.
What are they talking about?
Just a little bit west of me, sir, but you're welcome back anytime. Nope, all good.
Okay, I just want to make this point. This was a bring it on speech. I'm going to run across America with this speech and this thing about American progress. And I think if we lean in, we'll get a Republican and a journalism and police reform and get this done in the first 3 months.
I think so too. I'm praying for it because it's an opportunity.
We're going to get it done. Thank you.
He was not listening to her.
Exactly to my constituents in my district, and I know that they're really going to appreciate it.
What's your district include?
8th District of Colorado, northeast suburbs of Denver, and goes into Greeley, which is a rural community.
Interesting conversations.
I'm just getting
Big bag.
I'm getting this selfie.
She wants to get a picture.
Think I can, did I get it?
There you go.
Oh, I'm did the
Did he just have to tell her to flip the camera?
He's trying to make me feel good. She erased it.
How old are you? How old is this woman? That Joe is like, oh, you gotta press that button. Huh? Maybe they were doing some other setting, but I don't know. That was relatively like, ooh, what's going on? Okay, he's telling him something. Maybe it's like, all right, we gotta go. We got more people taking pictures and stuff. Oh, what's going on over here? Is that Doug? Jeez. Yeah, maybe Kamala was like, why did you kiss that hag? No disrespect, no disrespect, of course, no disrespect. You know, it's just yeah, you know, maybe Kamala was like, listen, I know I've done some nasty things to get where I am, but you know, I've never kissed Joe Biden. I've never kissed Joe's husband. I mean Joe's wife. I've never had to do that. That is crazy. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Trump's response. That's already what's going on here. Mitch McConnell looks like hell. No, Trump. No, I disagree. Yeah, I completely forgot about Trump posting a little bit about this. I guess we can check in on that in the interim. Is supposed okay, so that's supposed to start at 10:35. Well, they pushed it back. Still, Kevin McCarthy is looking really good. His demeanor is perfect. He's not a crazed lunatic like Nancy Pelosi that illegally rips up State of the Union speeches, and he's more and more fitting beautifully into the role as Speaker of the House.
Nope.
Nah, bro.
What are we talking about?
I disagree. Personally, I think Nancy Pelosi ripping the thing up, even if, you know, politically I say it's on the other side. I can't agree with it, but like it's a cool thing to do. It's a great resistance type of thing. Viva la resistance, you know, that type of vibe. That's what we need. But no, Kevin McCarthy sitting there like a whole punk, shaking his head, saying, "Oh, have some decorum." He's like Maria Antoinette of the Republican Party. He's like, no, let the president eat cake. Let the president give his speech. You know, type of like, don't have your rebellion or quell it. You know, just stay quiet. Don't be all up in the face. Just let it happen. That's Kevin McCarthy, and that's not what we need. It's not, and which is why I'm starting to regret. I'm starting to regret that I had no say in the matter. Obviously none of us did, but I'm starting to regret that the people that we elected eventually gave in. Now, is it good that they put up a fight for, what was it, like, if I remember, was it like 20 rounds, a little below that? I think it was like, was it 13, somewhere in that range of rounds that they had to do the voting. And I know it was grueling stuff. They had to count all 400 or 400 something representatives each time. It's capped at a number, but 400 representatives each time just to get the vote through. And it would fail. But I'm starting to regret that we gave it. Like, we should have lasted a little bit longer. We should have. Look at her. She escaped Area 51. We got to send her back. Catch it before it spawns. I don't know what you're talking about, Aaron. And that's the funnier part. That's the funnier part. Let's see what else Trump's posted. Oh man. Okay. You know, I'll come down on Trump sometimes. I won't be like, a blind supporter. I'll disagree. His names are funny. Pocahontas is really going wild tonight. She almost has to be constrained. The only thing that will do it is the straight jacket. No.
Yep.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Jeez. I agree with him that the tax system is not fair to me because they illegally released my tax returns. Trump is a victim, bro. He been beat down. His climate change statements, they can no longer use global warming because that doesn't work anymore, will bankrupt our country and bring us into the third world status, which we're getting closer and closer to anyway. When is he going to talk about the greatest southern border in the history of our country being obliterated and destroyed almost instantaneously? Yeah, just a lot of typical Trump stuff. It would be so much better if it was on Twitter so that people that disagreed with Trump could see it. Because none of them have bothered to join Twitter, just like I haven't bothered to join Mastodon or what was it? Tribal. I knew I would get banned, but I didn't try it anyways. But it's just simply not going to happen, which is why the Twitter purchase, even if it's still not perfect, was such a great thing. But why, when we go to real Donald Trump, no posts? No posts. Still nothing. See, the account's open. He can. He won't. And he's shooting himself in the foot. He is shooting himself in the foot. What's going on, kindness and grace? She says, yo, it's been so long, oh my lord. Yeah, it has. It's been a long time. This is the first time I've streamed for an extended period of time, so that's why it's starting to send notifications to people that it doesn't send them to until I've been streaming for like an hour. So nice to see you again, kindness and grace. When was the last time? It had to be like, what, 2021? I don't know. Maybe even before that, but nice to see you. I think it was 2022. I remember seeing your name relatively recently, so maybe late last year, honestly. But yeah, it still has been a while. Nice to see you again. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is fine. We're still waiting on Sarah Huckabee Sanders' response. The longer I wait, the less interested in it I get. But let's see if anybody else. You should veto your butt out of the White House. Let's see here. Anything else? Brandon Strzok, a lot of people that you just don't even see on Twitter these days. Donaldo Trumpo, he posts a lot over here on Truth Social. It's just like not enough variety, I'd say. But I still support alt tech socials 100%. But yeah, kind of says, I think it's literally been a year. LOL. That's crazy. That's crazy. And you were one of my few viewers that are not only Gen Z, but are like around my age Gen Z. So nice to see you again. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I hope everything is great. Therese09 says, oh, sorry. I see your given name is Chandler. I called you Crump. Great job. It's both. Both are my given names, so either is fine. But thank you. I figure Joe will be... I'm not even going to read that one, Therese. I don't think I should, but I'll put it on screen for y'all just so you can read what Therese said. I swear, sometimes my viewers are out of pocket. Out of pocket. Did you guys see what Therese said, the third from the bottom? Yeah, go ahead and read it. Read it and weep. How about that? Because I already jumped past a few words and I was like, you know what? We'll leave that one alone. But Therese, I see no lies. I read no lies. It was creepy. It was creepy things he read. Very, very creepy. Okay, Joe has officially left the chamber. People are starting to file on out. I'm sure the janitors will be here soon to mop up the mess he made under the podium. So now we're getting this bird's eye view, or sorry, I don't know what it is, just a view of the Capitol building.
On legislation and
okay, so he's talking about that stuff. We're gonna keep a close eye on Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We're still waiting, still waiting. I'm not sure why. Aaron says they're letting it escape. I still need to know what. He keeps flashing that alien woman on screen, acting like she doesn't exist and doesn't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Economic speech. Oh, he's got some things going on. Medicare speech in Tampa, Florida. Oh, that'll be funny. I can't wait to see the people with Trump flags in front of it as he drives by. That's always a really fun thing to see. But yeah, no, I have no idea what you're talking about, Aaron. Let me know. Bruh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just missing it. I'm trying my best. Agar-san says, I enjoy Truth Social, but my login disabled. Oh no. I'm sorry about that. Let me see if any other feeds have Sarah Huckabee Sanders going, because there's got to be something, right? GOP response. Arkansas. That's just a video talking about it. Stand by for stream. So News Nation is also still standing by. Let's see what Fox News has. State of the Union GOP response. Okay, so this one's at least live. We'll keep an eye on this one. We'll have that page open too. Okay. It should be coming in only a few matter of minutes at this point. I'm really interested to see what she says. I haven't heard from Sanders in a while, at least since she was press secretary, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've heard from her in the longest of times. Biden has left the chamber. I assume he's on the way back. I can recall it. Oh yeah, so there it is. Try to shush members of his or her caucus before like Speaker McCarthy tried to tonight. Because he's a shill. He is a sellout shill who doesn't represent a single actual conservative, much less a Republican. He's pathetic. He is a pathetic excuse for a Speaker of the House. I'm sorry, guys. I know some of y'all are a good fan of him, and he's done a lot. I'm not going to say he's a failure. You know, he's successfully, he's sitting behind the president during the State of the Union. It's big. But these people, their mistakes and their flaws and all, actually represent the voice of many and say the things that the average American and average conservative would be saying if they were sitting in that chamber. That is what these people are elected to do, be representatives. Meanwhile, Kevin McCarthy and all this Californian conservative wisdom, and I say that as diminutively as possible. I don't care how many actual Californian conservatives there are. A lot of, I shouldn't say a lot of y'all, but too many of them that I know are off the goop, off the rocker like Kevin McCarthy, sitting there shushing like, no, don't make problems. Like, what are you talking about, man? You're pathetic. A pathetic excuse. And you wonder why he had to wrestle his way to get that seat and make so many concessions. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait for him to try and turn his back and be like, oh, well, they won't check me. And then Marjorie or Lauren or Matt or Anna or anybody within that chamber, within that Freedom Caucus, to snap their fingers and call for that recount. Call for that recount. Get that man out that seat and put somebody who's willing to fight. I don't know, Byron Donalds. Ooh. When Byron Donalds was put up, I don't think anybody thought it would happen, but when that idea ran through my head, I saw it and I was like, oh man, that could be beautiful. Imagine Byron Donalds. Hold on, let's read on. Imagine Byron Donalds sitting right there. Ooh, Come on.
Yep.
That would have been a sight for sore eyes. That would have been beautiful. I tell you that much. Because he would have held Biden accountable, or at the very least would not have been shh. Because Nancy Pelosi, she did her shaking her head, but Kevin McCarthy did that too. That's normal, shaking your head. Nancy Pelosi ripped up the speech. Whether that was illegal or not, I don't really care. Oh geez, what in the? Oh come on, guys, really? Come on, really? These idiots, man. They just have a brown tone playing. Come on, guys. This one's playing it too. So that's not Fox or CBS doing it. I just switched feeds because I didn't want that annoying badge up there. But come on, guys. Don't you have audio visual teams? Like sometimes sometimes the Republican Party is stuck in the 80s. Yeah, I know, right? Right, Aaron's throwing out that test sound. Are you serious? Bro, I probably could have run their thing better on my setup, if I'm being honest. All right, let me stop throwing shade. I'm still just a little salty at Kevin McCarthy. I've not once supported him for speaker. I don't think I've supported him for anything, honestly. You can check my history. I have 4 years of history discussing politics, Congress. He's been a representative for all 4 years of that. In fact, I think he's been the majority/minority leader, the GOP leader for all 4 of those years I've been covering politics. And not once have I ever been really oh yeah, the majority leader, minority leader, Kevin McCarthy's been good on this. I don't think I have once said that. And if I did, it was something that he agreed with Lauren or Marjorie or Matt or Anna or many of these other people, Byron, about. That one time in a million where he's finally on the side of actual patriots. Like that 1 in a million. It's rare. So you know what? Any chance I get to just really dog on Kevin McCarthy, I'm gonna take it. I would run a primary against him. I would consider it. I ain't from California. I don't got no donor dollars. I can't even legally run right now, but if I could, I would run that. Man, that's crazy. All right, let me read some Rumble chat messages. Therese says, tell the person with disabled True Social sign in. They just need to reboot several times. The website is moody and my app doesn't even function. Interesting. Therese also says, I agree. I think Trump should also be on Twitter. However, Drunklowski tearing up Trump's speech was unlawful. Did she get any? Who checked her? Did she get any? They're still playing the tone. I have to have this muted. That's stupid. But did she get any house ethics investigation for it? No. It's the 2-tier justice system. Well, you know what? It is what it is sometimes. So yes, I wish it would have been funny if Kevin McCarthy started reading Biden's speech before Biden could read it. Since apparently everybody had it but me, I bet Kevin already knew it too. I mean, I know generally speaking, there's a lot of back channels where the speech is, a general idea of the speech is given out to some people, but they had it word for word going on there.
4, 3.
Good evening.
They had the countdown.
I'm Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
We heard the countdown just
Being
now.
a mom to 3 young children.
Embarrassing.
Taught me not to believe every story I hear. So forgive me for not believing much of anything I heard tonight from President Biden.
All right, it's fine. It's not her fault. It's not her fault.
Violent crime.
Not her fault.
The dangerous border crisis and threat from China. Biden and the Democrats have failed you. They know it, and you know it. And it's time for a change. Tonight, let us reaffirm our commitment to a timeless American idea that government exists not to rule the people, but to serve the people. Democrats want to rule us with more government control, but that's not who we are. America is the greatest country the world has ever known because we're the freest country the world has ever known, with a people who are strong and resilient. 5 months ago, I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. It was a hard time for our family, particularly our kids, Scarlett, Huck, and George. But we kept our faith and persevered. Thanks to exceptional doctors here in Arkansas, a successful surgery, and the grace of God, I am cancer-free.
Congratulations.
Through it all, I couldn't help but think about my mom. She was 20 years old and in her first year of marriage when she was diagnosed with spinal cancer. The doctors told her she might not live, and if she did live, they said she'd never walk again. And if she did walk,
You can, Aaron. Good
she'd
catch.
definitely never have children. The daughter she was told she'd never have was just sworn in as the new governor of Arkansas and is speaking to you tonight.
Yep.
Adversity and fear of the unknown can paralyze us, but faith propels us to charge boldly ahead. We can't stand still in the face of great challenges. You and I were put on this earth for such a time as this, to charge boldly ahead. I'll be the first to admit, President Biden and I don't have a lot in common. I'm for freedom, he's for government control. At 40, I'm the youngest governor in the country. And at 80, he's the oldest president in American history.
Right?
I'm the first woman to lead my state. And he's the first man to surrender his presidency to a woke mob that can't even tell you what a woman is.
I don't think that's a record.
In the radical left's America, Washington taxes you and lights your hard-earned money on fire. But you get crushed with high gas prices, empty grocery shelves, and our children are taught to hate one another on account of their race, but not to love one another or our great country. Whether Joe Biden believes this madness or is simply too weak to resist it, his administration has been completely hijacked by the radical left. The dividing line in America is no longer between right or left. The choice is between normal or crazy. It's time for a new generation of Republican leadership.
Yeah, not
Upon
McCarthy.
taking office just a few weeks ago, I signed executive orders to ban CRT, racism, and indoctrination in our schools.
Ooh, all right.
Eliminate the use of derogatory term Latinx in our government.
Ooh, yes.
Repealed COVID orders and said never again
No me
to
llame Latino.
authoritarian mandates and
Me llame
shutdowns.
Latinx.
Americans want common sense from their leaders. But in Washington, the Biden administration is doubling down on crazy. President Biden inherited the fastest economic recovery on record.
Took credit for it.
The most secure
I did
border
that.
in history, cheap, abundant, homegrown energy, fast rising wages, a rebuilt military, and a world that was stable and at peace. But over the last 2 years, Democrats destroyed it all. Despite Democrats' trillions in reckless spending and mountains
This is really
of
a
debt,
slam dunk.
we now
It's
have
easy.
the worst border crisis in American history.
Fentanyl, talk about that.
As a mom,
Yeah, it's so real.
my heart breaks for every parent who has lost a son or daughter to addiction.
There you go. Knew it.
100,000 Americans a year are now killed from drug overdoses, largely from fentanyl pouring across our southern border.
And we're giving out crack
Yet the
pipes.
Biden administration refuses to secure the border and save American lives.
Crack pipes? You
And
gonna talk about
after
it?
years of Democrat attacks on law enforcement and calls to defund the police, violent criminals roam free, while law-abiding families live in fear. Beyond our border, from Afghanistan to Ukraine, from North Korea to Iran, President Biden's weakness puts our nation and the world at risk. And the president's refusal to stand up to China, our most formidable adversary, is dangerous and unacceptable. President Biden is unwilling to defend our border, defend our skies, and defend our people. He is simply unfit to serve as commander-in-chief.
Glad I wasn't the only one.
While you reap the consequences of their failures, the Biden administration seems more interested in woke fantasies than the hard reality Americans face every day. Most Americans simply want to live their lives in freedom and peace. But we are under attack in a left-wing culture war we didn't start and never wanted to fight.
We're gonna
Every
finish
day
it.
we are told we must partake in their rituals, salute their flags, and worship their false idols.
Ooh.
All while big government colludes with big tech to strip away the most American thing there is.
Yep.
Your freedom of speech. That's not normal. It's crazy.
It is.
And it's wrong. Make no mistake. Republicans will not surrender this fight. We will lead with courage and do what's right, not what's politically correct or convenient. Republicans believe in an America where strong families thrive in safe communities, where jobs are abundant and paychecks are rising, where the freedom our veterans shed their blood to defend is the birthright of every man, woman, and child.
Okay.
These are the principles Republican governors are fighting for, and in Washington, under the leadership of Senate Republicans and Speaker Kevin McCarthy, we will hold the Biden administration accountable. Down the street from where I sit is my alma mater, Little Rock Central High. As a student there, I will never forget watching my dad, Governor Mike Huckabee, and President Bill Clinton hold the doors open to the Little Rock Nine. Doors that 40 years earlier had been closed to them because they were Black. Today, those children once barred from the schoolhouse are now heroes memorialized in bronze at our State House.
Nice.
I'm proud of the progress our country has made. And I believe giving every child access to a quality education, regardless of their race or income, is the civil rights issue of our day. Tomorrow, I will unveil an education package that will be the most far-reaching, bold, conservative education reform in the country. My plan empowers parents with real choices, improves literacy and career readiness, and helps put a good teacher in every classroom by increasing their starting salary from one of the lowest to one of the highest in the nation. Here in Arkansas,
You gotta
and
fight
across
inflation
America,
somehow.
Republicans are working to end the policy of trapping kids in failing schools and sentencing them to a lifetime of poverty. We will educate, not indoctrinate our kids, and put students on a path to success. It's time for a new generation to lead. This is our moment. This is our opportunity. A new generation born in the waning decades of the last century, shaped by economic booms and stock market busts, forged by the triumph of the Cold War and the tragedy of 9/11.
Okay.
A generation brimming with passion and new ideas to solve age-old problems.
Interesting.
A generation moored to our deepest values and oldest traditions.
Let's talk about some sort of millennial revolution.
Unafraid to challenge the present order and find a better way forward. If we seize this moment together, America can once again be the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I don't know, bro.
During my 2.5 years at the White House, I traveled on every foreign trip with the president. A trip I will never forget was on December 25th of 2018.
Afghanistan.
My husband Brian and I had just cleaned up wrapping paper that was shoved into every corner of our house, thanks to our 3 kids. When I had to walk out on my own family's Christmas, unable to tell them where I was going that night, because the place I'd be traveling was so dangerous, they didn't want anybody to know that the president was going to be on the ground, even for a few hours. We boarded Air Force One in complete and total darkness.
I remember.
There were no lights on the plane, no lights on the runway.
Beautiful story.
Our phones and computers shut down and turned in. We were going completely off the grid.
Off the grid,
Nearly 12 hours later, in the pitch black of night, we landed in the war-torn part of western Iraq.
Iraq?
It was again a similar scene. No lights on the plane, no lights on the runway. The only thing you could see was coming from about a mile away in a dining hall where hundreds of troops who were in the fight against ISIS
I understand, Bradley.
had gathered expecting to celebrate Christmas with senior military leadership from around the region. They had absolutely no idea that the president and first lady were about to walk into that room. And when they did, it was a sight and a scene and a sound I hope I never forget. The room erupted. Men and women from every race, religion, and region, every political party, every demographic you can imagine, started chanting in perfect unison over and over and over again, USA, USA, USA.
Thought they were about to be chanting something else for a second. I was like,
picture
that's cool.
of what makes our country great. One of the young soldiers yelled from the back, "Mr. President, I re-enlisted in the military because of you." And the president said, "And son, I'm here because of you."
Ooh.
Shortly after, that young soldier came up to me. He said, "Sarah, you have a tough job." I told him, "What I do is nothing. You take bombs and bullets. That's a tough job."
Real.
And in a moment that I know I'll cherish for the rest of my life, that soldier reached up and he pulled the Brave Rifles patch he wore on his shoulder, and he placed it into my hand.
Do you have it?
A sign of ultimate respect.
Do you have it?
And he said, "Sarah, we are in this together." Overwhelmed with emotion.
She needs to hold that patch up. That would really...
I just hugged him with tears in my eyes and a grateful heart for our heroes who keep us free.
Come on.
That young man and everyone who has served before him.
It's fine.
All of those
It's fine.
who serve alongside him, and the thousands we know who will be called upon to serve after him, deserve to know they have a country and a community back home doing our part in the fight for freedom. America is great because we are free. But today, our freedom is under attack, and the America we love is in danger. President Biden and the Democrats have failed you, and it's time for a change. A new generation of Republican leaders are stepping up, not to be caretakers of the status quo, but to be change makers for the American people. We know not what the future holds, but we know who holds the future in his hands.
His?
And with God as our witness,
yes,
we will show the world that America is still the place where freedom reigns and liberty will never die.
It's a very different way that
God bless you.
she says it to Joe.
And God bless America.
And we can even hear the people at the end. We can go back and hear that. Let's just do it real quick.
Still, thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.
Come on, guys. Who is the producer of this? Who produced this? Like, it's almost embarrassing. Maybe I'm being rude. Maybe I'm being, too much on it, but let me see if I can go to the I want to go to the beginning of it real quick so you guys can hear just her sitting there waiting.
Good.
Wait for it.
6, 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Sarah.
She's a professional. It's not on her. It's her dang team. I don't know. Maybe it's just the way the cable news networks produced it. I don't know. It might have been out of her team's hands too. I don't know. Just small things that it really makes this seem a lot less well put together than pretty much anything else that happened tonight. I've got a line. I love that meme. That one is hilarious. Too many times. Kevin McCarthy once again being an absolute embarrassment. Everybody's tweeting about it. There you go, the orange. Yeah, I saw that one was funny too. They caught him right when he was adjusting his glasses. Very nice, very funny. He actually did know. No, there's no way.
Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true.
No.
Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true.
Joe. No. That's I
don't know what I said. I don't remember.
I don't remember his name. It's written down, but I don't remember. Let's find the exact words.
Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom.
And then let's find that in the speech. Let's commit ourselves to make the word of Tyree's mother come true. Something good must come from this. And he just fumbles it.
True. Let's commit ourselves to make the words of Tyler's mom true.
Sometimes there is no forgiveness. It's this whoops, L, fail, duh. Political football. I mean, hey, look at Kamala. What's this for? What's this video?
Nobody was going to propose, but he'd veto it anyway. So I thought that was intriguing.
Hey, why is she sitting there with her arm or standing there with her arms crossed? What's this video? Make no mistake, if you try anything to raise the cost of fridge, I will veto it. No. Oh, and of course the closed captions immediately try to correct what he said. Let's hear it.
Make no mistake. If you try anything to raise the cost of precision jobs, I will veto it. True international effort to pressure.
Wait. Hold on.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
I will veto it.
Hold on, right here.
Anything to raise the cost of precision jobs, I will.
Jobs.
The precision jobs, I will.
Oh man, how did I not even catch that? That's good though. If you try anything to raise the cost of jobs, I will veto it. No way I can watch this. What is this? What's this? This is just like a living room recording, but let's hear it.
You've just simply been forgotten. Made the economic upheaval of the past 4
Yeah, I heard that one too. Oh man, everybody's confused. Was that a record for the State of the Union length? I don't know. Beijing Biden. We love our non-compete clause. Like what? Yeah, you started like flipping burgers, or have you guys ever heard that story of the you stacking shelves of spaghetti? Hold on, it's such a funny clip. Let me find it real quick. I bet he probably thinks they have a stack spaghetti sauce at a store. Yeah, hold on. This one. Let me make sure I'm not blasting ears. There you go. Can I like affect the audio, please? That'd be good.
0.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who runs brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens?
What happened? Hold on. There's a yeah. Is it this one? Corn pop speech. Joe Biden's most inspiring quote. Yeah. This one is so funny.
1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened?
What happened? Nobody knows what happened. Obviously, Twitter's going in big on pretty much everything. That clip again. Nobody wants to see that. Let's see what's this one.
Medicare and Social Security sunset. I'm not saying it's a majority.
Oh yeah, this is when something crazy. Biden really tried to tell the American people that Republicans wanted to get rid of Social Security after McCarthy has told American Republicans weren't going to do that. By the way, they know there is no more money in Social Security. They spent it all. Jeez. Yeah, and they just did not let that stand. They were like, no, come on, man. Name one world leader who would change places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Yeah, he went loud on that.
We face serious challenges across the world. But in the past 2 years, democracies have become stronger, not weaker.
I don't know, man.
Autocracies have grown weaker, not stronger. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. America's rallying.
Wait, what did somebody say in the background? Somebody said something in the background. I wish I could know what it was. Somebody has to tell him to calm down. That's what it needs to be. I'm sure he's on the way back to the White House to meet up with his date for the night, Miss Ava. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the State of the Union. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more. Mitt Romney just here to remind you. That's funny. Let's see what some of the trends are real quick. LeBron. I guess is there a basketball game going on right now? I guess so. It's funny. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Oh, let's see what people are saying about her. Let's see here. I'm so proud of my governor, senators. President Biden's weakness puts our nation at world risk. Okay, nothing much. Okay, yeah, interesting. The last thing I have to report is that we sadly did not get a bingo. We just had too far of a spread. There might have been some that I missed. We can go down the ones that we didn't go on. So we got economic plan is working. I technically heard him speak about it, but he didn't say that exact quote. so I didn't mark that one. We have teacher in the gallery. There wasn't a teacher in the gallery, just the parents of somebody who was murdered. So not necessarily. I didn't research to see maybe if Tyree's mom was indeed a teacher or father. I didn't look that deep into it. I don't think it would count though. Existential emergency. We didn't hear that one. I'm Jill's husband. Not this time. We didn't hear him say don't jump from the balcony. So we got pretty dang close. We got a few down, but you know, our closest bingo was probably right here. It's tied between these two, which was teacher in the gallery on the top or deadly earnest on the right. So we'll have to see if anybody else picked up on some things I didn't and got a bingo, but sadly I didn't. We'll just have to wait till next time because, you know, Biden's going to be the forever president. He'll be reelected in 2024 and he'll be president until he's 84 or whatever. That's 85, I think, by the end of it, actually. Anyways, he can't stop the creepiness. You guys, I think you were there when I took this screenshot. Oh man, this is a laughably embarrassing. Everybody knows that everybody knows. All right, we're going to wrap things up for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us as we scrolled through Twitter again. We watched the Republican response and then, of course, watched the State of the Union from the illustrious, glorious, fantastic leader. Big shout out to Aaron, to Diamond, to Saint June, especially for supporting us over on Rumble. I really appreciate it. Big shout out to everybody that supported us on Rumble. Recontact, Saint June, the person that occupied the spot before Saint June as well. I didn't quite. Travis Mills, that's who occupied it before. Big thank you to them. Everybody that donates through Rumble. You normally used to be able to do that to me for YouTube or through YouTube. However, I've been demonetized for like 2 years now. So if you want to support the show, you'll have to find us over on Rumble or hit the links up there. Just scan those QR codes or go to donorbox.org/support-Chandler to consider donating to support the show. We'll have a lot more streams coming very soon. Of course, not on a schedule as they previously were. No more Chandler Briefs, of course, and Crump Live isn't scheduled anymore. But definitely keep an eye out for a whole lot more. Definitely make sure you're subscribed to our Rumble and Locals for notifications about when we go live. And aside from all that, thank you guys so much for being tuned in. I hope you guys all have a great evening. Enjoyed the show that was the State of the Union. And don't forget to spread the virus of intelligence. Don't say it often enough these days, but it's still a fun thing to say. Glad I could be here, folks. Have a great evening. Get some rest. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Into the light we go.